It's amazing though when you know, black men do something wrong. They got technology.
Yep. Quickly.
Yes, technology come out quick when a brother do something wrong.
Yeah.
You get the blue alert. Kind. You know, but it's amazing how when this epidemic hits now that the information passed like lightning. But when the crack epidemic was amongst us, you know, the only answer was more stiffer prison sentences. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like when it affects them, now it's major. But what about when crack was affecting us in the 80s, breaking down households, tearing down families? You know what I'm saying? You didn't see a government push. The only push was whoever's found crack, give them more stiffer prison sentences. But we didn't bring the drugs in America anyway. No, those are those CIA ordeals. Operations that flood our neighborhoods with crack and drugs. You know what I'm saying? But now that the so-called epidemic or pandemic is affecting, you know, everybody, now all of a sudden there's care, there's concern. Man, ain't never been no care and concern for us.
But when opioids pop up, now it's about understanding they're sick.
Yeah, they need intervention now. You know, now that the whole Bible Belt is flooded with ice and meth and damn street drugs, bathtub drugs that you make in a bathtub.
Bath salt.
Yeah, you know. Now, not bath salt. I'm just saying drugs that you make, cheap street drugs that you make with bath products in a bathtub. Now all of a sudden there's an epidemic. Now we care, right? But who cared about us? You know what I'm saying? Who cared about us the whole time? And that's something that it's hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? For what we have to deal with. Now all of a sudden we go to their wars, we fight their battles, we go to Vietnam, World War II. You know what's so crazy? Even when we was in World War II, when we defeated the Germans. You know, and the Germans were taking captives and hostages. They were allowed to eat in the mess halls, and they were the enemy.
Like regular people.
Yeah, and they were the enemy. But and we still had to eat out in the huts or outside in the grass, in the back of the building. We still had to have a separate mess hall. And then their enemies of their people still were able and treated better than the actual residents and citizens of America. Just chew on that for a second to think about, do these people really care about you? They care about an enemy before they care about you. During World War II, they gave Japanese reparations and gave them payback for putting them in prison camps.
Yep.
There's no reparations for us. So when you look at concern and care, we was talking about that last week, these people don't care about us. And it's a shame if you fighting to think that, and you're angry that these people don't care. They never cared. The Most High said in Deuteronomy, we're supposed to be taken in the hand of our enemies, not our friends.
Exactly.
So, but you know, a lot of people are mad about the injustice that we're getting. Yeah, but this is punishment. This was a penalty directly coming from the Most High. Matter of fact, read that real quick before we start class. Go to Baruch chapter 4. Not 28. Baruch chapter 4 verse 6.
Come.
Shalom Israel, shalom everybody online, on YouTube and other platforms. The water for coming to another class and joining us in class at isbhpk San Antonio. It's good to see y'all. It's good to hear y'all commenting and healthy. Stay strong, stay faithful, take care of your families, look out for your husbands and wives and children. You know what I'm saying? Be about the body of Christ and take care of your people as much as possible. When you see your brothers and sisters in need, you see them homeless, you see them lacking something, extend to them. Extend to them, give to them. Don't just leave your people out there. Now it's the best time to love your people more than ever. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't wait and depend on the love of a nation that's always hated us. Matter of fact, read that. Baruch chapter 4.
Baruch
verse
chapter
6.
4 and verse 6 reads.
Hey, make sure the statement is complete and then read the scripture. All right?
Read that.
Come. Baruch chapter 4 verse 6 reads. Ye were sold to the nation.
He said you were what?
Sold to the nation.
How did we get here to America?
Sold to the nation.
What was the plot, the plan, the conditions of our habitation here in America?
Sold to the nation.
We were what?
Sold to the nation.
For what purpose?
Not for your destruction.
So we're here as a punishment, but the punishment wasn't for our what?
Destruction.
So that's good news from the Most High. You know what that means? That regardless of the plots, the plans, the agencies that come against us, the ones that infiltrated our neighborhoods with crack, pillaged our neighborhoods with violence, perpetrated our people to selling drugs to each other, flooded our streets. Regardless of their campaigns, the Most High said they're not going to do what?
Not for your destruction.
It's not for our destruction, but for what?
But because ye moved the Most High to wrath.
Because we move the Most High to jealousy.
Yeah.
We provoke the Most High to jealousy with our inventions. We provoke the Most High to jealousy with our idolatry.
God.
We made the Most High angry. And that's why we had to serve out a punishment. But not so these people could take complete control and destroy us all. Now we know also the scripture said that if those days were not shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. So we are at a critical point. But guess who's going to come out victorious? We are. Regardless of what aim that they try to use to itemize, control, or to eliminate the population, slow us down.
Corrupt us.
Because they do. Certain leaders have called us infestations. They've called our population infestations. Looked at us like rats and roaches and rodents and pests. So regardless of how they look at us, the Most High said, you were sold to the nations for what?
Not for your destruction.
Not for your destruction. Go ahead.
But because ye moved the Most High to wrath.
Go ahead.
You were delivered unto the enemy.
And so, yes, guess what we got to deal with? We got to deal with the tactics of who?
The enemies.
These are not friends. They never treated us as friends. Like I said, during World War II, we were here shooting down airplanes, and we're the cooks on the ship, on the naval fleets. And when the white officers got shot down on the guns, that's on the battleships, you had the black cooks had to come out the kitchen, jump on the machine guns and shoot planes down. But they don't come home to a hero's welcome. They don't come home to a hero's welcome with a parade. World War II, we had to eat in the kitchen that's in the back house, in the back barracks, in the all-black barracks that's made out of cheap wood.
God.
While the German enemies got to eat in the mess hall and got the best food. That's why I said you were sold to your enemies for what?
Not for your destruction.
Go ahead.
But because ye moved the Most High to wrath.
Read on.
Ye were delivered unto the enemy.
Go ahead.
For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
And this is why the Most High said, listen, we deviated from the Most High. So therefore we had to pay a price. There's a consequence to deviating from the Most High. There is a consequence to deviating from the Most High. Read on.
For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
Read on.
And not to the Most High.
Go ahead.
Ye have forgotten the everlasting power.
It said somewhere we did what?
Forgotten the everlasting power.
Read on.
That brought you up. And ye have grieved Jerusalem.
And said we grieved Jerusalem.
Our mother.
We put a stain on our people, on our land, on our homeland, with ill conduct and worshiping idols. Read on.
And ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
That brought you up. We give the Most High a bad name. We give our people a bad name. We give our generations, our forefathers, a bad name.
Yeah.
But we deviated. But here's the beautiful thing. Jump up to verse 4.
Verse 4. O Israel, happy are we.
But here's the beautiful thing in the hope that we have in these last days. It says instead of being sad that we're in the hand of our enemies and we're in the land of our captivity, instead of being sad, we should be what?
Happy.
We should be happy. Why?
Are we? For things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us.
Guess why we should be happy and joyous right now?
For things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us.
Because now we only knew how to agitate the Most High with our imaginations and our idol worship. Now we know how to come back and serve the Most High through his wisdom and his commandments and his statutes, and serve him properly and be accepted of the Most High.
Thanks.
So even right now, in the midst of a pandemic, as a child of the Most High, as being one of the children of Israel, we should be happy. Because you know what? Regardless of what they come against us with, whatever weapons that they create, whether it's neurological, biological, electronic, whether it's their medical, whatever type of poisons they try to give us, our saving grace and our opportunity out of here is our relationship with the Most High and our connection that we have to His laws, statutes, and commandments, and our obedience that we choose to yield ourselves to His understanding and His wisdom and His ways of doing things. Read on.
Come. For things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us.
So guess what? Now, by doing and executing the pleasure of the Most High, we now this is the focus that we have to look at in order to get out of these conditions. Have faith in the Most High, please the Most High, do the Most High's pleasure and the pleasure of Christ.
Come.
Do execute His will. Read on.
Be of good cheer.
It says, be of what?
Good cheer.
Go ahead.
My people, the memorial of Israel.
And so that's why we're going to start the class with saying, be of good cheer, man. You know what I'm saying? You see your people, look out for your people. Take care of your people. Extend to your people. Give to your people. Share your knowledge with your people.
That's facts.
Because this is the only way we're going to get out of here anyway. It's coming back knowing how to serve the Most High and making Him happy. Because once we make the Most High happy, then He'll take care of us and He'll make us happy. Even in the midst of our enemies. But we got to remember what caused us to be put here in the first place.
God.
It was our what? It was our wicked imaginations and doings. And that's why the class today is called, write this down on your paper if you got pen and paper, my vision versus the Most High's desire.
Which is what? My vision versus what?
The Most High's desire.
The Most High's desire.
That's the topic of the class, because that's what got us in trouble. That's what got us here in slavery in the first place. He said, because you sacrificed to devils and we forgot about the Most High. So we just got to make sure we don't repeat these dead works. We don't repeat the actions that got us into captivity to begin with. All right?
Can I pull one scripture real quick?
Come, please do.
Micah 6 and 13. Micah 6 and 13. Matter of fact, go to verse 9 and then 13. That'd be quick.
Take your time, bro. We're just getting started. Take your time. Whoever got it.
Verse 8. Verse 8.
Micah chapter 6 and verse 9.
Verse 8. Verse 8.
Verse 8.
One verse up. So Micah 6 and verse 8. Let's read.
Micah chapter 6 and verse 8.
Come.
It says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good.
The Most High showed us what is good. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments.
I like that.
He showed us what is good. When you spank a child because you hate them, it's because they should know better. I told you better than that. I taught you better than that. He's our Heavenly Father. He already showed us what is good. Read.
And what doth the Lord require of thee?
And he says, I not only showed you what is correct and good, I also showed you what I require of you. So you knew better. You know better. Read.
But to do justly.
But to do what?
But to do justly.
Be fair with your people. Be fair with your brother. Be fair and just with your God. Read.
And to love mercy.
And to love mercy. Be merciful. Read.
And to walk humbly with thy power.
I showed you the law. I showed you what was good. I showed you what I required. I showed you to be just and fair. And I showed you how to be merciful and humble. I gave you everything it took to be proper in my sight. Read.
Verse 9. The Lord's voice crieth unto the city.
And the Most High was crying. He sent prophets. He sent men. He sent teachers. And they cried to the city. Read.
And the man of wisdom shall see thy name.
Only the men of wisdom going to understand. Read.
Hear ye the rod.
Hear ye the rod. That's the Bible, the measurement. Read.
And who hath appointed it?
He said, hear the rod, which is the scriptures, and who appointed it. Whose will was us to live according to the Most High's measurement. Now go to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, also will I make thee sick and smiting thee.
He said, also, I'm going to make you sick. We're sick of the police brutality, right? We're sick of being treated like shit on the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're sick of being in fatherless homes. We're sick of divorces. We're sick of the plagues of Egypt, the mental sicknesses and the illusions of the mind that plague our people, the bipolarism, the ADHD, right? We're sick of our children were born with eczema on their skin off top, right? We're sick of sitting here being charged a whole bunch of fees and relentless fines just for being black and brown. They have a brown people tax when it comes to the banking system, when it comes to buying houses, right? Based on your zip code. Read.
Con. And making thee desolate because of thy sin.
He said, I'm going to make you sick with being smitten or hit or attacked, and making thee desolate because I what?
Because of my sin.
Our sins. Our deviating. Our changing and or ignoring the scriptures. Most High is setting us up to say, listen, I've taught you the Bible, I've taught you the scriptures, I've taught you what I want you to do, and I'm going to make you sick of your own sins. That's the point I want to bring out, because you have brought up the point about it's really us. We have to take accountability for why we're in this position.
Yeah, I'm listening because you're making my mind turn as you talking. As you
verse 10
this
goes
out.
into it too.
Well, read it, because I like what you're
verse
saying.
10.
It's making the wheel spin. Everybody's wheel should be spinning.
Come on, go to verse 9 and then go to verse 10. Real quick.
Micah 6 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The Lord's voice crieth unto the city.
He's crying to the city through prophets, through teachers, through situations, through signs. Read.
And the man of wisdom shall see thy name.
And the men that love the Most High are going to see that's the Most High's hand is His way of doing things by establishing and showing us where we're off at. Right? The crying in the city. Read on.
Hear ye the rod.
Hear the scriptures. Read.
And who hath appointed?
And who designed the scriptures? The Most High's will. Read.
Are they yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked?
There's treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked. What does that mean? A lot of us benefit from defrauding our brothers. Our people live off of just taking advantage
Hustling.
of the next person. You know why?
Finessing.
If I don't got nothing from if I get nothing, if the white man ain't gonna give me nothing, I'm gonna take it from my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna eat off my brother. I'm gonna persecute my sister. I'm gonna take advantage of her.
Extort.
Yeah.
Take advantage of.
I'm gonna take
manipulate.
advantage. I'm gonna have these young kids out here peddling dope. I'm gonna take advantage of weak-minded women. I'm gonna take advantage of fatherless sons, sons that have no direction, that are easily impressionable. I'm gonna get treasure. I'm gonna gain off of my people. Read.
And the scant measure that is abominable.
And the scant measure that's what?
Abominable.
Meaning that I'm not fair to my people. I'm not eating my people. And the Most High see that as an abomination. Read.
Verse 11. Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances?
So I count them pure with the what?
Wicked balances.
Meaning, what's a wicked balance? Just something that's really not fair. Am I going to count them pure that are unfair with their own people? Like Sean was bringing out. Are we giving what we have to our people? Are we giving the best of what we have to offer to the people that are in the worst position, the worst condition? Or am I serious living my life? Read on.
And with the bag of deceitful weights.
Read on. Skip that. Keep going. Verse 12.
For the rich men thereof are full of violence.
What's that really mean? A lot of us that are doing well have done it by taking from our own people.
You know, and it said a bag of what? A deceitful weights, right?
Deceitful weights.
It said the bag of deceitful weights.
The bag of deceitful weights is when it comes to buying and selling. I'm gonna make sure that the odds are always in my favor.
God.
I'm never about doing what's even, what's right, what's fair. Even in an exchange, I'm gonna make sure that I get the best of the exchange. How do I do that? I have a bag of deceitful weights. What I do is when I sell you something, when I sell it to you, I put a little rock. I got a little rock in my bag. I got a big rock in my bag. Two different weights.
God.
When I sell you something, I put a little rock on it so you only get a little.
Yep.
When I buy something from you, I pull out my big rock so I can get more of what you selling. What do you call that? That's deceit. Because I'm going to take advantage of you. I'm going to make sure that I got a multitude of weights in my bag so when it comes to exchanging, buying and selling, I get the best of the exchange.
So when there's a scale, right? There's a scale, and if I want corn, I'm going to put that rock. I like his corn. I'm going to
put the big rock.
I'm going to put the big rock.
I'm going to pull the big rock
When
out.
he wants something from me,
yeah, I'll pull out the little rock.
Little rock. Oh, yeah,
Hey bro, let me borrow $100. But I'll lend you 10. But
Exactly.
my max that I would lend you is 10.
God.
But I want you to lend me 100.
you want more from me than you want
Yeah,
to give me.
exactly.
That ain't fair.
But what I need 100. But I won't ever lend you more than 10. That's just our people, man.
That's garbage.
I won't ever go above and beyond, but I'll make sure that I'm always on top in any exchange I have with my people. Yes, sir.
No, I was just gonna make a statement real quick. Does that particular scripture relate to the rich be rich and the poor be poor?
No, not right now. Not right now.
No, sir.
It may, but we're not gonna search it out just yet.
Okay.
But go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
Okay,
ahead.
read on.
Con.
For rich men thereof are what?
Are full of violence.
Man, I'm about taking. A violent person is about taking and being aggressive and pushing their will on the weak. So those of us that are doing well amongst our people, a lot of it's not from our own hard work. A lot of it's from when we're in a wicked mindset It's from forcing and manipulating the minds of our people. Read like these pastors and preachers. Manipulate these grandmothers that got retirements and they ain't got nobody to talk to them and deal with them. Some of them manipulate them, give them false hope, sell them prayer rags. You know what I'm saying? Sell them holy water. Now I'm unholy. Right? I'm going to tell them, I had a dream. I'm going to fool them and finagle them just to get resources from these older women who are basically widows. Read.
God. It says, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies.
And the inhabitants, you know our people be lying. They be lying like a, like you say something, I gotta ask 10 people to make sure it's the right statement.
Right.
Because our people, the inhabitants of our neighborhoods, of our lands, they on their own opinion. They on their own wavelength. They're using persuasion and twisting stories to get the advantage. Everybody's trying to survive right now. Read.
Yeah. And their tongue is deceitful in their mouth.
And why is my tongue deceitful? Because I'm trying to change these balances. I'm trying to take advantage.
Yep.
And this is the reason why the Most High is like not blessing us as a nation. How can I bless you and bring you out of captivity when you're still unfair with your brother?
You know how I'm unfair with my brother? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 27 and verse 27. Yeah, 27 to 27. Read that.
Ecclesiastes 27 and verse 27.
Read that.
He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him.
It said, he that worketh what?
Mischief.
Because I'm too busy working what? Mischief. And most us, this is how I still deal with my people. Even though we know who our enemies are, we still working what? Mischief with our people. We still dishonoring our people. Go ahead.
It shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh.
And it says it's gonna come back on him, and he ain't gonna know where it come from. Read on.
Mockery and reproach are from the proud.
It says mockery and reproach are from what?
From the proud.
So you know what? Our people get prideful when what? When we on top. When things are going well.
Exactly. I don't talk to niggas with short money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to read this real quick. Let me just rest real quick.
Come.
Proverbs 22 and 4. After you read that.
Come.
Finish this up.
Yeah, finish that up real quick.
Come. Ecclesiastes 27 verse 28.
Uh-huh.
Mockery and reproach are from the proud.
Mockery and reproach, right, are from what?
The proud.
I think I'm above my people. I'm above the suffering of the sisters. I'm above the suffering of my brother. So you know what? Because I'm above them and I don't feel like we're on the same page and I can't relate to them and I'm in my world and let them be in their world, I have no concern or care for what they're experiencing. I'm going to think about myself. Of course I'm going to come off, arrogant, mockish, right? Reproachful, meaning disrespectful. I'm going to be disrespectful in my conversation and my conduct and I'm going to be mocking. Man, I look at you and I look at the worst of you and I mock you in my mind. I don't see the good in you. I kind of make fun of you. That's a broke nigga right there. He's weak. She's ugly. She bald headed. He never get a job. So here he can't survive. It's her. It's her.
In the etymology dictionary, mischief is the opposite of achieve.
The opposite of achieve. So guess what? Yes, sir.
No, I was gonna say, can you say that same statement towards it's the same mindset of that crabs in a bucket mentality?
It's the crabs in the barrel mindset, but also there's King Crabs in there. This crab's doing good. And he did good from pulling all these people down.
King crab.
I've been pulling people down, so I'm feeling good about me. Cause it's just like in slavery. The slave that has the strongest body that can, he can beat the most other slaves up, or he's a slave that he has the other slaves in order. He gets the top hat, he gets the outfit, he gets dressed like master, he gets master's old clothes.
Hustler.
Yeah, he disciplines the other slaves. He does the dirty work for the slave master, so he gets a higher position. We're the same way right now as we speak. If I have a better economic position, I have a better social position, I have some type of advantage over my people, I'm gonna crap on the man lower than me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm mocking and doing mischief as a nation. Read.
But vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them.
Vengeance is still waiting, even for people that are manipulating their people. They might seem like they're temporarily winning, like they're temporarily getting away with it, but the Most High hasn't let it go. He wrote it in the book. He hasn't let it go. You said Proverbs 22, right?
Yeah, no, it's Ecclesiastes 22 and 4 and 5. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Ecclesiastes 22,
Uh-huh.
Verse 4 and 5. Read that.
verse 4 and 5. Ecclesiastes 22, verse 4 and 5.
Uh-huh.
A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband.
And it's this mischief that we, like you explained, that we deal with our brothers.
God.
But also it's how our women deal with our men too.
Exactly. That's true too.
It goes on. It's not just the men that's always
God.
hustling and trying to get over. Women too. He said what?
A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband.
See, but a good daughter that's not about mischief or mockery is about being in order and about the survival of the husband's posterity. Her interest lies in whatever the husband is building. That's where her interest lies at, to making sure that he possesses an inheritance,
God.
that his name is never forgotten on this earth, and his works and his deeds are planted in the eyes of the Most High on earth while he's here.
God.
And that's what a wise daughter's mind will be at. How can I make my husband look better? Read on.
But she that lieth dishonestly,
That live dishonestly.
Salaki, that liveth dishonestly, is her father's heaviness.
It's
Wow.
her father's what?
Heaviness.
Because it makes her father look bad. Because did her father raise her to be this way, to not follow? Did her father raise her to be bold, to be impudent,
Be out there.
to be out there, to be free willing to do what I want to do? Read on.
Ecclesiastes 22 and 5. She that is bold dishonoreth both her father
It said, and a woman that's bold is a dishonor both to her father. Go ahead.
and her husband.
So what is the mischief that women cause? It's not just men, it's men and women. It's through pride. That's the mischief that our women cause. It's the pride. That I want to do what I want to do. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to follow you. He said, but a woman in that mentality, I don't have to make sure that you receive an inheritance in the eyes of the Most High. I seek after my own pleasure. He said, but a woman that is bold, go ahead, is a what? She that is bold, go ahead.
Dishonoreth both her father and her husband.
Go ahead.
But they both shall despise her.
And he said both of them are going to say what? What the hell is wrong with you? But that's what happens when a woman's in her what? Her pride. And this is also causing mischief amongst our people. Is that damn pride? You know the most this is why that pride is an unduly high opinion of oneself.
God.
Our pride is how we got in the position we're in America.
Yeah.
I want to do what I want to do.
Yep.
And that's why the topic of the class is my vision, which is what I create.
My. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I made this.
Versus the Most High's desire.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us have our own vision. You having your own vision is nothing more than you just fulfilling your own pride. And that's what the Most High is showing. Let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 16. Let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 16.
Luke chapter 12, verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully.
He said, but this is what we do. When everything is good,
Yeah.
we think the Most High is with us. When everything is A-OK and everything is strong and solid, we think the Most High is rocking with us. He said, when the ground is bringing forth plentiful, meaning everything is going right in your life. Read on.
Yeah.
And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do?
And what do you call that? That's that conscience, that man's conscience. Him making the decisions on what he should do. Him abiding by his own judgment. Him living by his own, or he or she living by their own design. I'm creating an agenda.
Yeah.
Now that I got what I got the resources and the ability to fulfill my will, what is it that I really want to do? This is somebody who's creating and designing and mapping out their future. Not making sure, let me make sure the Most High is okay with what I'm about to do. Let me make sure the Most High is right with these resources. Let me not check with the Most High and make sure that this is right with the Most High. Let me figure out what I want to do now that my resources are good. Now that I'm in a comfortable place, I'm in a good place, I'm in a place to perform.
Established.
I'm established. Now I'm in a place to figure out how do I want to live in this next few years? I'm going to map out my life. I'm going to map out my goals, and I got a vision board. And on my vision board, I got a Rolls Royce that I cut out from some magazine, Car and Driver magazine. I got a hairstyle that I want that I cut out from Ebony, or Cosmopolitan. I got a fitness goal. I got some pictures on the wall with some weights, me lifting weights because I want to make sure I'm healthy. I got some vegetables on the wall on the vision board. This is what people do. People establish their own, and they create their own idea about what the future is going to look like. What is the future going to look like for me? And we want to map that out. And that's what happens when things get good. This is what happened from the beginning, like we read in Baruch, when he says, you forgot about the Most High. See, we think serving devils is like a guy with a pitchfork with some horns, and he's got some damn chicken feet.
Playing that work.
Yeah, and he got a forked tongue and a spiked tail.
He's all red-headed.
Yeah, it's all red.
Like a hot sauce bottle.
Like the hot sauce bottle. We think serving the devils is okay. I'm not serving the devil because I don't see how I'm serving the devil.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. Right. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to read the etymology definition of imagination, because what I got from there, say they have room to think about, what I'm going to do in a couple years. Man, I got all this stuff with me. I'm thinking of the Most High with me. Let me see what I got in store. So the etymology definition of imagination says, faculty of the mind which forms and manipulates images.
It says the faculty of the mind that forms and emulates
images.
That manipulates images.
Yeah.
Right. So I got a vision in my mind. I got a picture in my mind of what I want to look like. I got a picture in my mind of where I want to be, what I want to become, who I want to be. And usually it's based off somebody I've seen in fashion,
Celebrity.
whether it's a celebrity, whether it's a musician, whether it's an athlete, whether it's an artist, or whether we see people, and this is why the scripture say, do you think it not in vain that the spirit lusteth to envy? This is what we see something, or we see somebody else. And if I can't be LeBron, then I look to the left and the right to look to see who's around me, to mimic their pattern and who I can become, because I want to be like them. Not that my goal is wanting to be somebody righteous in the eyes of the Most High in Christ, or somebody virtuous in the eyes of the Most High in Christ, but based upon what's comfortable for me, based upon what I created in my mind, what I look at and say, well, you know what? This is who I want to be in a couple of years. We all do that. We all have this. We all create this picture, and then we start formulating this picture and putting this picture into action. A lot of times it starts with being a child.
Yeah.
A lot of it's not even our fault. A lot of the times it comes from our parents. Boy, what you gonna be when you grow up?
I'm gonna be a firefighter.
I'm gonna be a doctor. Knowing he can't even read, right? And are you going to assist him? And nothing wrong with being a doctor.
Nothing wrong with that.
Because the scriptures say the Most High giveth the doctor skill, give the physician skill to deliver the right medicine to you in the time of sickness. There's nothing wrong with that. But are you going to put the work in and formulate and construct his lifestyle to where you can put him in a position where he has the best opportunity to be a doctor?
Exactly.
But you know what we do? We just want to see. We want to pick our kids' brains. What you gonna be when you grow up? I want to be a rapper. Boy, you're gonna be a good rapper.
You know why? Because that's what they saw.
That's what's on TV. That's what's on TV. That's what's in their eyes. That's what's in front of their vision.
What's in their eyes?
Right. That the pride of life. They seen a rapper. They seen a now you got little kids that are 14, 15. It's almost like damn near every video. It's almost a necessary prop in the video to have a gun or two on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not making a video nowadays unless you got guns, drugs,
It's a gimmick, guys.
half-naked women. You balling, you got the money spread on the arm.
Or money.
You know what I'm saying? Or you talking on the money phone. These are like necessary props to establish the look. Because I want to create the look. I want to look the part of what I think of success looks like. I want to play the part of what I think making it is. And a lot of our people are caught up on this idea that this is what success is. This is what strength is. This is what being comfortable. This is what life should be about.
Now.
Because I pursued this lifestyle. But they don't tell you the downside of it. They don't tell that you don't see the downside. You don't see the downside of it till it's too late. Till you already started manifesting and chasing the dreams.
It's too late already.
And that's what we do. Our people are known for creating these things, these visions of what we want to be, where we want to be, and it has nothing to do with being in accordance to the Most High. And that's why it said, this man said what?
Luke chapter 12, verse 17. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do?
I thought within myself. I created a vision.
What shall I do?
Right. I created this vision. I made this play. I'm making a play and I'm making a plan.
Now.
I'm a playmaker.
Yeah.
And I got big plans and I got big dreams.
Self-made.
It ain't my fault you think small.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not like you. I think big. I think on a grand scale. You other cats just want to be simple.
I'm
You
evil.
want to work a
got
job.
chickens.
You're content with just working a job.
You're right.
I'm bigger than that.
Come.
I'm an owner. I got the idea. I'm a king. I'm a queen. You're a king. Where's your kingdom? You still pay taxes. Kings force people to pay tribute. There's tributaries to a king. People pay you.
Paying taxes.
You pay. How you a king and you paying taxes?
Dang, I gotta pay taxes here.
But you're a king. But you paying taxes.
God.
You paying rent, but you're a king. You're not even a landlord because you don't own the land.
True.
And if you don't pay taxes on the land, they take the land. What's a king without no land, without no country? The hell are you doing? That's a dream. That's a fallacy.
God.
And a lot of our people live like this. A lot of our people live based off dreams, visions, and fallacies and fantasies, based on what they see and what they want to manifest within their vision and their eyes. Yes, sir.
I got a scripture that connected what you're saying.
What you got?
Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 22.
Read that.
The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Right. Break it down.
Just simply the things that we do as far as in manifesting imaginations is not wisdom.
The knowledge of getting
It's
getting gain in
knowledge
this world.
because it's information. But that don't mean it's good knowledge.
Right.
Because there's a separation. There's a difference, and there's a separation of knowledge, street knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's knowledge.
That's knowledge.
Yeah. It's knowledge.
Street smarts.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Versus what the Most High considers godly or righteous behavior. Yes, sir.
You know, and to piggyback off of that point,
Land back.
Ecclesiastes 23 and
To
5.
land back off. of
Land
that.
back.
Land back. It says, turn away from me vain hopes and concupiscence,
Come.
and thou shalt hold him up that his desires always to serve you. Basically meaning these desires and these, whatever we aspire to be in life that's contrary to what the Most High wants, isn't what is going to be honored in the kingdom. It's not even be honored in the world we're in right now.
Absolutely. Because there's a difference of purposes. Either I'm going to design my life to follow after the constructs and the layout of the Most High's desires,
God.
or I'm going to create my own vision
Come.
and pursue my own fantasies and build my own imagination.
I say God bless me.
Yeah, exactly. God gave it to me. Read on.
What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits.
Go ahead.
And he said, this will I do.
Come.
I will pull down my barns
Go ahead.
and build greater.
So you know what people do? People start as they start to add on to their imagination. They start trying to ensure themselves and establish some type of comfort later down the line. This is whether it be some type of retirement. This is some type of 401k. This is some type of nest egg. This is some type of, I gotta put some money away for a rainy day. There's nothing wrong with
Plan B.
Put money in the grave.
But this alternative to following the Most High is how long can I maintain myself by establishing my own desire, and how long can I keep this imagination going without having to get in order?
Wow. Oh,
Because it's still based upon the fantasy that I created, and how can I ensure that the fantasy lasts a long time?
Wow.
I want to make sure that I establish this dream, and I want to make sure that this dream that I create endures the test of time.
God.
I want to stretch this dream out. I want to make this dream last long. I want to live this way. I'm never going back to being broke. Never broke again.
NBA.
Yeah.
I'm never going back to the projects.
Never broke again.
I'm never going back to the hood.
My money long.
You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure that I can live this lifestyle based upon this perception that I created. So we go as far as trying to extend the duration of how long we can enjoy this vision.
Okay.
That's what he's doing.
Wow.
Read on.
I will pull down my barns and build greater,
Go ahead.
and there will I bestow all my fruits
Go ahead.
and my goods.
And then I'll be able to enjoy it for a long period of time. Because that's what everybody wants. They create a vision, they create an idea, they have an imagination, and they want to enjoy this imagination for as long as they can.
Yeah.
Read on.
And I will say to my soul, soul.
Man, I ain't going to say nothing to the Most High. I'm going to just say, this is what I want to do. This is my goal. This is my direction that I want to go in. This is the person I want to become. This is how I want to look. This is how I want to be. This is me. This is who I am. Read on.
So thou hast much goods laid up for many years.
Go ahead.
Take thine ease.
Now, people want to do what?
Wow.
Take thine ease.
What does that take my ease represent?
I want to relish in my accomplishments.
Retirement.
Right. I want to relish in my accomplishment.
Retirement.
I want to retire. What else?
Avoid affliction.
What?
It's no
Yeah.
need to build anymore. It's
I-
time to rest.
I built a platform that I can be comfortable on.
Easy street.
You're right. Easy street. Vacation. I can
Coast.
travel. I can coast. I don't have to labor. I don't have to toil.
I ain't sweating no
Sit
more.
around.
But and I don't have to worry, because that's what people do it for.
Right.
They don't want to worry no more. I don't have to worry about bill paying, how I'm surviving. Because you know what that does? That eliminates the need for faith. And that's what people don't understand. Is that if the minute you try to eliminate the need for faith, then you have no need of the Most High anymore. You make the Most High obsolete by your retirement. You make the Most High obsolete not having to live check to check. You make the Most High obsolete because you lose the dependency that you're supposed to have with the Heavenly Father. You disconnect from the dependency of the Most High. That was one of the first mistakes that Eve made in the garden. She saw the tree. It was good for the sight. It was good for a fruit to be desired,
Yeah.
and one to make thee wise, to make one wise. You know what that means? When to make one wise, meaning I don't have to live off of commandments anymore. I can live off this wisdom. That means I can disconnect from the source that the Most High has me connected to, which is my husband, and I'll still be taken care of, and I'll still be able to manage, and I'll still be able to think for myself, and I'll still be able to survive.
Like your own ingenuity. Like
Right.
the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Right. But that tree is what allowed Eve the opportunity to disconnect and still function without having to be dependent upon Adam, without having to be dependent upon the Most High. It was an alternative to the Most High, and there is no alternatives to the Most High. Who had a hand up? Somebody had their hand up. But
no, I was just wanting to ask a question. So basically, around that time, because she clearly told Satan, like, nah, I can't eat from it because the Most I said, you know what I'm saying, I lose my life or I lose my soul. So her already knowing that, do you think that she did that because she was just curious, like, to get this knowledge? Or was she just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you know what?
but she knew the commandments. She knew the, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I like what you're saying. Say that one more. Ask that question one more time. Listen to the question that he's asking.
So the question is, let me just break it down. So Eve already knew the commandment,
right?
Because the first person who received the commandment was Adam,
right?
So Adam, as a husband, provided the commandment for his wife to follow,
right?
So they were both in agreement with that. Don't eat from there, but out of all of them, you can eat from here, right? You're good. So when Satan beguiled Eve, because he was more subtle than any beast of the field, which means he was clever. He was clever with his words. He was real smooth with his words. So he told Eve, who said you're gonna die if you eat from here? So the question is, with Eve knowing the commandment, do you think she was just curious?
Absolutely. You know why? Go to Proverbs chapter 7, verse 1. Go to Proverbs chapter 7, verse 1. Start at verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 7, verse 1. My son, keep my words.
It said what?
My son, keep my words.
What is he begging for?
My son, keep My words.
What is the verse saying?
Keep.
You got to keep what?
My words.
You got to keep the Most High's words. See that, and he's going to explain the importance of it, and he's going to just read on down. Go ahead.
And lay up my commandments with thee.
It says, and lay up my commandments with you. You're supposed to store my commandments with you in mind. My commandments are supposed to be what's on your mind. Read on.
Keep my commandments and live.
And do what?
Keep my commandments and live.
It wasn't Adam and Eve given the garden?
Mm-hmm.
Weren't they given everything that they needed to survive and function? Read on.
And my law as the apple of thine eye.
He says, and keep my law as the what?
As the apple of thine eye.
Now, good question. The word keep my law is something in Greek. I like what it says. It says, and keep my law as the apple of thine eye, right? I want you to read this right quick, Dalia. Read this. I want you to read this right here. Give me 1 second. I want you to read this. Read that one more time.
Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye.
It says, and keep my law as the what?
As the apple of thine eye.
Ishon.
Now, it means what? Go ahead.
Ishon. It says right here.
Yep. The Strong's definition of as the apple.
It says.
He says, so he's giving you the definition of the Greek of when it says as the, I'm sorry, the Hebrew of when it says as the apple. What does it mean when he says keep my law as the apple of thine eye? The Hebrew word he used was what?
It says right here. Ishon. Ishon.
Right, and the Strong's definition for that word means what?
The little man of the eye.
It says what?
The little man of the eye.
You know what everybody got in them? Everybody got a little bitty person that talks to them. Everybody got a little man inside of them.
Wow.
Everybody got somebody on their shoulder that says it's okay, you can do it. Everybody got, who is your little man that you listen to?
It's real.
He said the little man of the eye. That's what the pupil is. That's the Strong's definition. So who's that little man controlling you? Who's that little man telling you it's okay to do it? Who's that little man telling you, man, you can get away with it? It ain't gonna be that bad.
Your vision.
That's your reflection.
It's a little bit of everything.
Your desires.
Your desires, your opinion, your thoughts, your imagination. It's what you tell yourself. It's your inner man, your conscience. It's your appetite. It's your lust.
True.
Because 1 John 2:15 says what?
Oh yeah.
1 John 2 and verse 15. Love not the world.
They said what?
Love not the world.
Go ahead.
Neither the things that are in the world.
And what's in the world? Read on.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Go ahead.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
It's the what?
The lust of the flesh.
What's that little man?
The lust of the flesh.
Who's the little man that tells you it's okay to be out of order?
The lust of the flesh.
Who's that little man that tells you that it's okay to be bold?
The lust of the flesh.
It comes from the lust of your flesh.
God.
Who's that little man that tell you I'm a save and stack up for later? This is who I'm going to be, and this is how life is going to. I'm going to direct the path of my own journey. I'm going to control my journey.
God.
Who told you that? I don't have to be in order. It's the lust of the flesh. What else?
And the lust of the eyes.
It's the what?
The lust of the eyes.
You know what? Now, somebody give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 31. Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 and read verse 13.
Ecclesiastes 31, verse 13. Remember that a wicked eye.
It said, remember that what?
Yeah.
A wicked eye.
It says, you better keep in mind that if your eye is not focused if your eye is contaminated, if your eye is telling you something and controlling you,
Wow.
if your vision is controlling you, if your conscience is controlling you, or your pride is controlling you, he said, remember that a wicked eye, go ahead.
Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing,
Go ahead.
and what is created more wicked than an eye.
What's more wicked than the eyeball, man?
Wow.
Now we know that the scriptures say the tongue is an unruly evil. You can't control it. It cannot be tamed. He said, but out of all the members that you have in your body, you got ears, you got a nose, you got lips, you got a mouth, you got eyes, you got a sense of touch. But out of all your members, what's the worst one of these members?
The eye.
The eye. Because inside that eye is you're receiving information, you're processing information, and you're rationalizing things within yourself
Yeah.
based on your perception. The perception is what's creating the vision.
Yeah.
That's where the vision is started. That's where the imagination begins. It begins in the eye. It begins by what you see and what you tell yourself. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm reading the etymology of apple, and then it says the frame apples of one eyes. It says the Old English. It says symbol of what is most cherished.
It says symbol that is most what?
Most cherished.
So it's the symbol that is most cherished. And we know the scriptures say where a man's treasure is, his what?
Heart.
His heart will be also. So whatever you cherish, whatever you seem or deem valuable, because you know what? Everybody sees certain things valuable. Certain things are valuable to certain people over others. Some people value time.
Yeah.
Some people value money. Some people value fame. Some people value sleep. Some people value comfort. But whatever it is that you value, security, safety,
That's what's most cherished.
that's what's most
That's
cherished.
what little man want.
That's what the little man wants. Whatever's valuable to you, that little man want that.
And he see a situation. 3 people see the same situation. And the little man tell 3 different things. Because
Yeah.
they want the 3 different
They
things.
want 3 different things.
That's crazy.
That's why you can't satisfy everybody.
True.
You can't satisfy everybody because everybody got different wants.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got different desires. So he said, remember that the eye is a wicked thing. Go ahead.
And what is created more wicked than an eye.
Because what does the eye do? Read on.
Therefore it weepeth.
It what?
Weepeth.
It weep means to cry. I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. I want that. Ooh, look at that. How come I don't have that? How come he got that and I don't got that?
God.
How come she got that and I don't got that? That's what that weeping is. It's in pursuit of something. Read on.
Crazy.
Therefore it weepeth upon every occasion.
It weepeth upon every occasion. It's always wanting. It's always desiring. Read on.
Stretch not thine hand.
Now, we also read where it says, hell and destruction are never full. It said, neither are the eyes of man satisfied. Never
That's
satisfied.
an important one there. It's never satisfied.
Never satisfied. So if I keep going off of what I see, I'll never be content on what the Most High has in front of me. Because I'm always looking at something that I don't have. What is it that I don't have? What is it that I don't possess? What is it that I need? You don't need nothing. You don't need anything. But you need a relationship with the Most High. And this is where the eye takes you. That's why it said, let the law of the Most High be the apple of your eye. Let the Most High's commandments be what you cherish and what you treasure. That'll keep you in order. But let that go and go back to Proverbs.
That's another definition of eye too.
You read it. You got another definition of eye? Read it, please.
If you break down the Hebrew of it, it says the leader or strength to work something to a point when you become to become bound to the action.
Read it loud so everybody can hear it on the computer as well.
A leader or strength to work something to a point to where you become bound to the action.
Wow. So you know what it's showing you? It's showing you, it steers you in the direction of what you're going to be captive to.
7:14.
Yep.
You're sold in sin.
Right? You know, I'm sold into sin because now that eye is a steering wheel, and it's going to take me to a destination where I'm going to be given to, and I'm going to drive myself to this destination, and I'm going to become a captive in this situation. But who's steering you into that destination? Your lust, your pride, your decision making, your vision, your idea of what the future is supposed to look like. You're in control of your own ship. Everybody want to steer their own ship, but don't realize that the damn waterfall ends with rocks.
Romans 6:16.
Yeah, we got that con. So let that go and go back and finish that up in where we were at in Proverbs.
Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. Keep my commandments and live.
And that's why I said, don't forsake my law. Keep my commandments and what?
And live.
Read on.
And my law as the apple of thine eye.
And he says you're supposed to keep the Most High's law as the little man that's in the pupil, the little man that's controlling things. That's causing you to have desires.
That position's for the law of the Most High, not the lust.
Right.
That position of, I want this, I'm gonna commit my efforts to this.
You know the purpose of an advertisement is to sell you based off your vision or based off your hearing. That's what advertising does.
That's true.
I gotta create something that catches your attention for the purpose of selling you this product. See, we didn't even know. It's funny though, because I used to work at QVC. I don't know, anybody know what QVC is? What's QVC?
Infomercial shopping.
Home Shopping Network, right?
That infomercial.
Yeah, Home Shopping Network. That way, you know, they got boots. They got the red boots that you got 10 minutes to buy, and there's only 300 in stock, and they only got five. They only got 5 sizes.
You used to work there?
Yeah, I used to work there.
Like the phone?
Yeah, I used to answer the phone.
That's crazy.
I used to set the order up. So when you call it in, what you watching TV at about 3 in the morning, and you ain't got nothing going on, and you call and you see them boots, them red boots, you like, man, they only got 5 sizes, they only got 300 of them, and right now, if you call right now, you get the boots with the belt. If you call within 10 minutes, you get the boots and the belt.
I didn't know it was real people there. I thought it was.
And then we'll throw in the handkerchief, a scarf to match it up.
Oh, gotta get it.
But
now.
you gotta. That's only for the first 20 orders.
Oh, I gotta get that. So you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
You know what that was? That all that is just you didn't even know you wanted red boots until you seen it on TV. You didn't even know you needed some red boots. You're like, you don't even have a purpose for the boots. Right. And the idea of it wasn't even in your mind until somebody put the idea in your mind. And that's all Satan did to Eve. All Satan did to Eve was just tell her that, hey, it's going to be okay. Because previous to that notion, it was off limits. She already knew that was off limits. Well, you know what? In the day that you eat it, your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing both good and evil. She didn't even know that she needed to know good and evil. She didn't even know that she was not equivalent to a god. She didn't even know what it means to have her eyes opened up or to have them closed. You know what Satan did? He just showed her what she thought she was missing. And that's all Satan got to do. Put an idea or plant a seed in your mind of what you think you don't have. And your eye will do the rest.
Yeah.
You know, the eye will do all the rest of the work. And like you said, based off the definition you use, the strength or the leader of what brings a person into captivity or promotes them to action.
Yeah.
So the eye will take over. All I got to do is plant the idea, plant the seed in your brain that you want this, you need this, and this is an accessory to your life. And all of a sudden, your desire, your lust will take over. That's why when you go to a jewelry store, they tell you to try it on.
Right.
Yeah. Try it on, then they get the mirror. Hey,
Too late now.
Drive the car.
Look at you,
Drive the
you
car.
look good.
Test and drive the car.
look at you. Look how the light catches that on your neck. Wow, look at how it glistens. Look at that.
You
Look
put
at
it in your hand. That's
yeah,
yours.
yeah. Feel the weight of it. Look how it glistens on you. Move your arm back and forth. Look how it just rolled on your wrist.
You can get all the ladies.
It's perpetual. It's perpetual movement. You know, it ticks by itself. You don't need anything to go with it. You know what I'm saying? People, all they do is do this with the mirror, and you like, man, you know what? You know that neck, try to catch it in a different light. Man, you know, I kind of, man, I'm the man.
Yeah.
What kind of charm you got to go with it?
Yeah.
What kind of charm you got to put on this chain? Yeah, you that lion. Yeah, ooh, that's fly. Ooh, man, how much is it? You got credit? Yes, let me put it on credit. My whole point is this: you didn't even know you wanted the damn chain until somebody sold it to you. Somebody put the idea in your mind. See, your lust will activate, and once your lust activates, the rest is on you now. They're not responsible. Now, if you went into debt because you couldn't control your habit because you can't control your lust, that's not their fault. That's why when I worked at QVC, they didn't have no damn shopper's remorse, buyer's remorse. If you bought it, then there wasn't no returns.
Ain't no return.
You know what? They would tell you got like they did have a return, but it was very short time frame. Very short time frame. But by then you have a closet full of stuff that you don't even wear. You got a house full of stuff you don't even use. You don't even use it. And it's just sitting in there collecting dust. Because your lust, somebody tickled your lust. Or somebody opened the door to put an idea in your mind. That's the easiest thing in the world, is to plant a seed in somebody's mind. It's not difficult to do. All you do is stroke their ego. Stroke somebody's ego, you can sell them damn near anything. Tell them what advantage they're going to have once they have this, as if it's going to make them better. As if it's going to add something to their lifestyle. And then you walking around with a dream that somebody sold you. And told you need it, and then you realize, damn, I really didn't need that. I really blew my money. It really was a waste. And you know what people do? They waste time too. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to go here. I didn't have to be here. I didn't have to buy this, spend that. I didn't have to indulge in my lust. Because there's a consequence. But that was your fantasy that you played with. That's what everybody does. And then because you are a sucker now, and you got suckered into a deal that you later on had regret and remorse for because you couldn't control your lust. Because you weren't content. That's what people do. That's why I said keep the law as the apple of your eye. Read on.
Bind them upon thy fingers. Write them upon the table of thine heart.
It said make sure that the thing that rules your mind is the laws of the Most High. What verse you on?
Verse 3.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman.
He said, and call understanding thy kinswoman. You know what that means? That what I look at as valuable to me, what I have an affinity for. Look at the definition for affinity. What I have an affinity for, and what I consider valuable to me, because that's why he's saying, look at this as being a part of your family. Look at these laws as being something that's close to you, that you care about, that you love.
Yeah.
Consider it one of your relatives. Consider knowledge, wisdom, and understanding like it's a cousin of yours, like it's a family member, somebody you care about, something you care about. Read that. Read the definition of affinity.
Affinity, agreement, relation, conformity, resemblance, connection. This is in chemistry, attractive.
It says so. He says, look at the law like what?
Attractive.
Attractive, man. Why don't you look at the laws of the Most High as attractive, not them red boots? Because you got suckered. You ain't know you got suckered. Everybody that doesn't value what the Most High has laid out, they're gonna be a sucker for something else.
That's crazy.
You make yourself a sucker by default, simply because you didn't value what the Most High had to give. And then you realize that every other pursuit in life was a trick. Every other pursuit in life was a trap. Because you didn't value, it's not the Most High's fault. You didn't value His commandments. You can't blame the Most High when you fall into a trap that was based upon your lust, steered by your conscience, now it's the Most High's fault? It's not the Most High's fault. You didn't find His law valuable. You didn't look at His commandments like it's a relative. You didn't have an affinity for His laws. That's why He said attractive. Well, what else?
It says,
What is the first definition you read?
the first definition was attractive and elective attraction.
So, yeah, the first definition you pulled of affinity was what?
Agreement.
Agreement. I'm looking to be in agreement with this. That's why I said, look at this law like it's a family member. Like you have a relationship with this law. I see a lot of hands up. Hold on. Give me one verse. Mark chapter 3. Somebody read Mark chapter 3 verse 34. And then we can get to them hands. Mark chapter 3 verse 34.
Mark chapter 3 and verse 34. And he looked round about on them which sat about him and said, Behold, my mother and my brother.
And that's how he said, he looked around, he said, look at my mother and my brother. Who does Christ consider his family, his relatives? Read.
And he began again to teach. Mark 3 and 35. For whosoever.
Read it clear. Slow down and read it clear.
For whosoever shall do the will of the Most High.
It said, Christ said, for whosoever shall do the will of the Most High. Go ahead.
The same is my brother.
Who does Christ have an affinity for?
His brother.
Those who do
the
will. This is who Christ has a relationship with. This is who Christ has an agreement with, or is related to. He said, "For whosoever shall do the what?
Will of the Most High."
Read on.
The same is my brother.
He said, "This is who I look at as my family. It's for those that decide to execute the will of the Most High, and that the will of the Most High is important to them. The will of the Most High is the apple of their eye. For those individuals whose the Most High's will is the apple of their eye, that's who I count as my brother. That's who I count as my sister. That's who I count as my mother." Finish that.
The same is my brother and my sister and mother.
And my mother. So this is my family. It's for those that have this same mindset, whose care, whose concern, and whose objective is to look and focus at the laws of the Most High and His commandments as being valuable. Now finish that in Proverbs chapter 7 verse 4.
Proverbs chapter 7 verse 4. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kin's woman.
And Christ explained that. What do you mean by that? I choose to look at doing the will of the Most High, following His laws and commandments. This is what's valuable to me.
Yeah.
I care about this over anything else.
Nothing else matters.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her word.
And you know what? If Eve would have just kept up the commandments of the Most High and laid up the Most High's commandment in her mind, that little man that's in that eyeball, that pupil is the strongest, is known that little man. Mm-hmm. That little man would have been able to tell her it's okay to eat that,
Right.
to partake in that. But that was flattery. Flattering somebody is easy. Tell them what they want to hear. That's all flattery is. I'm telling you what your lust wants to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm luring you through your own lust. I'm using your lust against you. That's what everybody do. That's what you got 1,000 damn booths at the flea market, and each one of them is trying to lure you with your lust. Sneak eyes, man. You got the new Jordans, man.
Yeah.
I got the new Jordans. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Everybody is selling you something, flattering you, trying to stroke your ego.
Jewelry, my friend.
Jewelry, my brother, my nigga. It's sad, but they say that too.
Now.
That's a fact.
I got 14K, I got 18K,
No, you
I got 10K. It's amazing.
Play.
It's amazing
Playing.
how people play you. You easily played. You're easily played when the Most High is not your focus.
That's facts.
That's when you're a duck. You're a sitting duck. You're a sitting duck waiting to be sold something to or distorted or controlled or manipulated. You're bait for manipulation because you didn't value the laws of the Most High. That's your fault. You made yourself bait for manipulation. Because what's important to the Most High wasn't important to you. So now you live the life of a sucker. Now I live the life of somebody I'm always been taken advantage of. Well, your lust has been ruling it. Your lust has been allowing it. That's why I said this. Go to Matthew chapter 6, start at verse 22. Read that.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye.
You got to get that too. Yeah. He said what?
The light of the body is the eye.
That's why it's telling you how important what you see and how you perceive things are. What you look at is valuable. It's very important what you deem as valuable. You better rethink what you think is important. You better recalculate it. Because a lot of us have created things in our mind and put fake visions in our mind, fake ideas in our mind, based on how we see things and based on what we want, not based upon what the Most High desires. That's why it says the light of the body is the what?
The eye.
Go ahead.
If therefore thine eye be single.
It says if the eye be what?
Single.
If the eye be single. Go ahead.
The whole body shall be full of light.
He said the whole body shall be what?
Full of light.
Now, the word single, write this down. Good fulfilling its office. Good fulfilling its office. Sound. Good fulfilling its office. Or sound. Another word for single is whole. You know what that means? I can fulfill the laws of the Most High, and I'm whole and I'm not fractured.
No.
Nothing can break that. To be unbroken, whole means to be unbroken or not divided.
True.
So nothing can break that focus.
Doesn't that also mean you also don't have competing desires?
Exactly. There's no competing desires. That's why I said if the eye be single, go ahead.
The whole body shall be full of light.
Read on.
But if the eye be evil.
Now what causes the eye to be evil? We read that. James chapter 1, right? Verse 12.
Right.
What called? We just read it. 1 John.
Yeah.
The
The wicked eye, Ecclesiastes 31:13.
Right. He said, remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing. He said there's nothing more wicked than an eye.
God.
It said it weepeth upon everything.
Every occasion.
Blessed is the man that endureth.
Yeah. And read that one you got too.
Yeah.
Read that.
James chapter 1 and verse 12, right?
Yep.
Come. James chapter 1 and verse 12 reads, Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
Blessed is the man that can get past his own eyes and his own vision. Because where does the temptation come from?
The eye.
It comes from your eyes. And what you tell yourself and what you want. It comes from your wants and your desires. That's why I said, blessed is the man that endureth what?
Temptation.
Go ahead.
For when he is tried,
Go ahead.
he shall receive the crown of life,
Read on.
which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
And that's how the Most High know you love him. Read on.
Let no man say when he is tempted.
But the problem is, we got a lot of excuse makers. We got a lot of excuse makers when it comes to us pursuing our own dreams and fantasies.
Right. Okay.
And the failing of those fantasies. See, we create these imaginary lifestyles that we want to be, or people that we want to be.
Yeah.
And when that person or that creation is broken down and crushed, or that idea that I came up with the Most High smash it and spit it out, and it doesn't come to fruition, now I want to blame people. Now I want to blame people that it's your fault.
Yeah.
But I'm the one that created this imaginary lifestyle, and it's your fault that this lifestyle isn't working.
God can't see me.
I can't see me though. I can't. That's why we have to read the scripture, because I can't see that it was my fault. But everybody creates these ideas, and when the idea falls flat on its face, it's your fault. You know why? Because you didn't support me. You didn't support me. You didn't support my idea. You didn't back it. See, if I would have been a lot further in life if you would have supported me.
I would have a lot further my lust if you had supported me.
But you didn't support my fantasy. That had nothing to do with following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. But now it's my fault that your vision failed.
It's madness.
That's what's crazy about it. Huh? How many of us have seen or been ourselves creating an idea and it didn't work, and now we mad and we're not the same people? Now we can't smile. Now we can't be brothers. Now we can't be kind. Now I can't be generous, because the scripture does say this in Proverbs. Ooh, let me get it real quick. It says, Proverbs 13, 9 maybe? I ain't read this in a while, man.
You have to look it up.
No. Hope deferred.
Yeah,
Oh, it made the
12.
heart sick. Yeah.
Read that.
Yeah. 12. Proverbs 13.
12.
12.
Yeah, Proverbs 13 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
Hope deferred.
Write it down. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12.
Somebody get definition of deferred.
Read that.
God. Hope deferred.
It says what?
Hope deferred.
What was my hope at? Was my hope being in order with the Most High?
Vain hopes.
It was vain hopes.
Scripture says.
Right.
The Bible said it.
It's hopes that I created.
God.
It's hopes that I wanted. It's thoughts that I entertained.
You don't care about me.
Right.
You won't support it.
You
Where's
didn't,
something going?
because you didn't protect me. You didn't look out for me.
You help me in my pursuit
Right.
towards destruction.
Only my mama believed in me.
Yeah. She gonna tell you she's your mama. She's supposed to make you feel good because she's of this world.
Right. It says what?
Hope deferred.
When people don't get what they want, that damn vision falls flat, and that vision is empty.
That vision board don't come true.
Or they do get to the point, like we read in Luke chapter 12. They do get to the point where they store up much good. They do get to a comfortable position.
I made it.
I made it. I did it. I did that.
I did that.
It's me.
Yes, sir.
Definition of defer:
Read that.
to delay, to put off, to postpone to a future time.
Things didn't happen the way I wanted. And when things didn't happen the way I wanted, based on the ideals I created for myself, then what happens?
To postpone.
No, stop right there.
Okay.
Read the scripture.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
What happens with the person now?
Maketh the heart sick.
I'm depressed now. I'm suicidal now.
Crazy.
I'm not happy now.
I
I want to
motivated now.
quit now. I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. That's the next step that people like to do. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to leave. I want to quit. I don't want to live. Why? Because you're not getting what you want. That's why. Because things aren't happening the way you planned it out to be. Now you're sick. Now you're not the same person anymore. Now you can't be cool. Now you just can't have any joy. You don't got no joy now.
God,
There's no joy.
you took my joy.
There's no joy. There's no happiness. Well, what were your goals? Did you ever think about that? What were you planning? What was you planning for? What was precious to you? What was valuable to you? What do you cherish? What do you deem as good? Maybe you need to reevaluate what you deem as good. You don't deem having a relationship with the Most High as good, because if that's what you would have wanted, that's what the Most High would have given you. But you wanted something other than what the Most High had to give. That's why it says in 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6, he says what? Somebody read that. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. And hold that where you let that go in Proverbs. We got the point on that.
1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6.
No, you got to finish that in Proverbs.
1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 6 reads, from which some, having swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling.
It says some people have turned aside from serving the Most High unto what?
Vain jangling.
Vain jangling. Desiring to be teachers.
No.
Okay.
No, I got it.
That ain't it. It's not. It's in Timothy though. I want. I want.
So it's not that chapter.
No. It's Timothy though. It's 1 Timothy chapter 1. I know I have it. Hold on. I know it is. Let me read. It's 1 Timothy chapter 1, and it's verse. Oh man, hold on. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. That's what I want.
Okay, 1 Timothy chapter 6.
Verse 6.
Okay, verse 6.
Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6.
Read that.
Reads, from which some having swerved.
No.
Sir.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. Somebody read
1
that.
Timothy 6 and verse 6. But godliness.
It said what?
But godliness.
But what?
But godliness.
So if I wouldn't be so sick, I wouldn't be so depressed, and I wouldn't be so down and out if I cared about being what?
Godly.
If I cared about being godly. See, the only reason I'm sick and I'm depressed and I want to leave and I want to bounce, I don't want to be here, I'm not happy, you don't care about me, it's because my care isn't I'm not trying to be godly. That's the problem. So if I reevaluate what I consider happiness is, then I will change my perspective. But he said, but godliness, go ahead.
With contentment.
But with satisfaction. That's all I care about. I'm cool with just being a godly woman. I'm cool with just being a godly brother. I'm okay with that. I'm okay being fed by the Most High. That's okay with me. There's none other pursuits that I have in life than being godly. So therefore, nothing else entices me. Read on.
Is great gain.
He says, but godliness with contentment is what?
Great gain.
That's what great gain is. But that's not what we want. Who was holding James chapter 1?
I was.
Read that.
Okay.
Hold that though, and we're coming right back to it in Timothy.
James chapter 1 in verse
Who's in
12 reads.
13. Verse 13.
Oh, verse 13. Come. Let no man say when he is tempted.
Let nobody say, well, what?
When he is tempted.
Go ahead.
I am tempted of the Most High.
It's the Most High's fault.
Yep.
Because that's ultimately who's the object of contentment and scorn. The Most High somehow is always to blame when your life don't fare out the way you want it to. Somehow it always falls back on the Most High. The Most High is like, listen, how is it my fault? I don't control your eyes.
True.
You do.
Free will.
That's free will.
Self-will.
I didn't tell you. I told you the world was evil. I told you don't eat of the tree of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. I told you stay away from that tree. Now that you embarked on engaging yourself and trying to explore the benefits of touching this tree that I told you not to touch, now it's affected your life, and now there's a consequence you have to pay. When I initially told you don't do it. Now that you did it, now that you're suffering, now you're blaming me. It's the woman you gave me. That's what Adam said, right?
Yeah.
It's the woman you gave me. Somehow it's always the Most High's fault. It was the serpent that deceived me. Man, the serpent did his job. You took it from there.
You want to see if you're going to follow
You
that?
know what he did?
Yeah.
He exploited a vulnerability and a weakness in you.
Got
That's all that Satan did.
Come.
Satan just exposed the fact that you was playing with the idea anyway.
You want that flattery to justify you.
Right.
I'll post this real quick.
God.
Proverbs 1 and 10. Real quick. Proverbs 1 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee.
That serpent.
Hold on, where you at, Mama?
That serpent. We're going right back to that scripture, next scripture, the previous scripture. That serpent, that temptation, that idea, that vision of heart, what you want to see, that secret lust, that repetitive wanting. Read. If sinners, what entice thee? Read.
Consent thou not.
Nobody put a gun in my head. Nobody forced me. Nobody made me do it. Nobody made me not read. Nobody made me not study. Nobody made me not follow counsel. Nobody made me not confess my heart so I can get answers. Nobody made me not, pray to the Father and ask Him for discernment. Nobody made me do these things. These are my pursuits, my desires, my wants, my vision, and I got a product. They always say it online, right? When you're in the comment sections, you play stupid games, you get what?
Stupid answer.
Stupid prizes, right?
Somebody took questions.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
no, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
Right.
A lady online, she was an influencer. She wanted to take a selfie. She went to the edge of a waterfall, and she held onto the edge of the waterfall, and she took a selfie, and she slipped off the waterfall and died
Oh, man.
because she wanted to impress people online that she don't even know. That's that lust. I want people to look at me a certain way. I want them to see me a certain way. I want to present myself a certain way, and it led to her downfall. We do that all the time with the Most High.
You know what's so crazy is that those are extreme cases
God,
of people desiring fame or attention.
glory, yeah.
But there's a 1,000 little things that we do that are not as extreme, but are still out of the way. To where it can be something little. Just for the fact that I don't like you having the power to tell me what to do, I'm going to tell you no. Just something small as that. I'm going to tell you no. I know what you asked me. I know what you told me to do. I heard the instruction. But simply for the fact that I don't like you having power over me, I'm going to tell you no. Just to flex the fact that I still got some type of control. That I'm still doing me. There's 1,000 times that on a smaller level, we're still extreme. But those small extremes lead up to a larger thing. I'm deviating out of the way of order. Or a little lie. Scripture said a little leaven it the whole lump. Just tell a little lie. A little lie ain't gonna hurt. Just a little small lie. It's a small lie. I don't do it every day. Just one time. Ain't that bad. I just told a little lie. Oh, it's a little lie. When the lie is little. Because I said they're little. That's why. Because that's what we say. We say, oh, if I don't got to tell the truth. I don't got to be honest. It's just what they don't know don't hurt. This is the world. This is the world's mentality. What you don't know ain't gonna hurt you.
Right.
That's the world's knowledge. That's street knowledge. That's worldly wisdom.
Got to pull this right here.
God.
Ecclesiasticus 20 and 24. I'll just read real quick. A lie is a foul blot in a man, yet it is continually in the mouth of the untaught.
Right. But it's small though. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. See, we may not be as extreme as hanging off a cliff for a selfie, but we will tell little lies. That we will do. Not all of us gonna be that brave to hang off a cliff, but some of us will not be honest. A lot of us won't be honest. A lot of us just won't simply be honest about what it is that my plan or my vision is. That's why you don't really find out till later on in life what a person's real intention is. You know what? It's not until you start being around a person every day, day in and day out, do you start to see where their treasure is. To start to see what they value. You start to see what's important to them. It's not easily revealed off the jump. But it's not the Most High's fault when you wanted to be you, and when you being you failed. And it's not the Most High's fault. The Most High, he gets tired of that too. It's always your fault. But read that in James. Finish that in James. And you was reading Timothy, right? Hold that in Timothy. You was reading 1 Timothy chapter 6. Go back to James. Finish that in James.
God. 1 James chapter 1 and verse 13.
First
read.
James? You say first James? Just
I
James.
mean, my fault. James chapter 1 verse 13.
You ain't got new books, man. We reading from. What Bible you got, bro? You got 1 James?
Second Philippians.
Yeah, 2 Philippians. You know, that's your imagination, huh? Nah, just messing around. Go ahead, bro.
James chapter 1 and verse 13 reads, let no man say, when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
And it's not the Most High's fault. You created this vision. You created this idea. Something told you this is the picture that you painted and put up on a wall.
I'm the boss.
Read on.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil.
It ain't the Most High's fault. He already laid out instruction. He laid out an instruction manual that if you choose to abide by it, he says, then thou shalt find thy way prosperous and thou shalt have good success, right? Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, right? We ain't gonna read it, but that's what it says. Read on.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil.
Go ahead.
Neither tempteth he any man.
Now here's the origin and the root of our issues. Read on.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
What is the origin of our issues?
Drawn away of his own lust.
I decided to create a picture, and I pursued that picture, and when I failed, and it was consequences involved to that picture, now I want to blame the Most High or the people around me? No, but instead I should be blaming what? My lust, my vision, my imagination, my thought process, my ego, my pride. Read on.
God. He is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust have conceived.
And once I thought I was going to get what I want, because there was an alternative to serving the Most High. Anybody that has an alternative to serving the Most High. It says when lust is conceived, read on.
It bringeth forth sin.
It bringeth forth what?
Sin.
The only thing that I got from satisfying my flesh and my lust and pursuing my own dreams and visions was what? Sin. Sin was the conclusion of my vision. Sin was the conclusion of the picture that I painted. Finish that in Timothy.
1 Timothy 6 and verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
It says, but if I just care about being right with the Most High and obedient to His commandments, he said that's what good success is. Read on.
Verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world.
It says all the things that you're trying to build, they're all earthly things. You're not valuing anything spiritual. Read on.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
And it's certain that you came in butt naked, full of blood and water.
Yeah.
You didn't bring a shirt. You didn't bring a handbag. You didn't bring a car into this world. You weren't born with keys in your hand. You could.
Cadillac.
Yeah, I came in with a charm, with a piece and chain. I came in flossing. I was born with jewelry. I had earrings on when I was born. I was chosen. I was the chosen one.
Come out the womb.
Yeah.
Right.
From the womb to the tomb, I'm a G.
Yeah.
I came out gangster.
Going like that.
I slapped the doctor when I came out.
It's one of them again.
Yeah. Oh, you pimping, huh?
Hmm.
But the whole thing is, you didn't bring nothing in this world. Guess what? Why the hell are you pursuing alternatives to serving the Most High so much? Why is other things that you didn't come in this world with so important to you? Why are these alternatives for happiness so important? Why are you so geared upon making sure you satisfy something in you that you didn't have when you was born. It's a distorted perception of and it's a dream that we have that steers us from the Most High. A distorted desire.
Come.
Read on.
Come. Verse 8. And having food and raiment.
It says, but you should be content with serving the Most High and breaking it down to the simplest form of serving the Most High. Did you eat today? And was your butt naked? Or you have some clothes to cover your shame? Did you have some clothes to cover your backside? Was you barefoot on 120-degree pavement? You didn't have you wasn't barefoot. You wasn't stepping in hot rocks and glass. So you should be happy. You didn't get sunburnt today because you got a shirt on, and you had a meal. Could you be content with that? Is that good enough for you? Because that's not good enough for a lot of people. See, because that doesn't give me immediate satisfaction.
Yeah.
And see, and that doesn't satisfy me. That doesn't satisfy that little man in my eye. That little man got dreams, got wants. Because I see other people that have things that I don't have. So I want to pursue, that begins the pursuit of trying to gain something that I really don't need. Read on.
Let us therewith content.
Be content. Right? Be content. Say, let us therewith content.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
It says, but they that shall be what?
Be rich, fall into temptation.
Because you know what? When I'm rich, all I do is exploit more of what I want. And that's what we started with in Luke. Who had Luke chapter 12 from the beginning? Who was reading it? Go ahead and pull it in.
Luke 12.
Yeah. We had Luke chapter 12. And we were on 18.
Yeah. Luke chapter 12 and verse 18. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Go ahead.
And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease.
And that's what the pursuit of being rich does. Being rich just helps me satisfy my desires. I can execute my desires even more without disruption. I don't have to wait for a check to do something. I don't have to wait for a check to execute my will. I don't have to wait for a check to execute my desires. I can immediately satisfy my flesh when I have the necessary resources to satisfy my flesh. See, that's what people want. People want the ability without disruption, without having to wait for it. I want to be able to pursue and satisfy my lust because my lust is burning.
Yeah.
So I don't want to wait. So that's what the abundance of riches does. It just aids me in satisfying my flesh even faster. Go ahead.
Come. And also definition of rich. 8:28, the 21st point. It says rich, self-righteous, abounding in one's own opinion.
Yep.
So partially, I'm gathering materials to execute my lust, as also I'm fighting and I'm pursuing so I can fulfill the opinions I have in my heart. I have these opinions, and I'm going to pursue certain things based on I have to satisfy my opinion. Well, that's how the camp should be. That's how my husband should be. That's how this brother should be. That's what I think. With no experience. We have no scriptural proof. Validation.
No foundation, no experience in building anything spiritual. But I got an opinion of what's spiritual.
Why can't it be this way? It's harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom. Why? He can't get that eye of that needle, right? It's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich man. But what rich man? That man that's based on what? It says self-righteous, what I think is right. Not what the scripture thinks is right, or the camp thinks is right, what I think is right.
That's a highly opinionated person.
So a highly opinionated person can't enter the kingdom. Just like that person that's satisfied with wealth, so they don't need the Most High, can't enter the kingdom. It's both.
I wanted to point one thing out too. I'm glad you said rich, because According to the 1590s, another word or another way to explain what rich was entertaining or amusing to others.
Yep. But you know what's entertaining and amusing to me? My thoughts and my imagination.
Yeah.
What I consider righteous. What I think is good and not good. See, I have my own definition
Yeah.
of what's proper and improper. I don't live by the Most High's definition of what's proper or appropriate, of what's fair or not fair, or how I treat people or how I see things, my judgment, my discretion. My judgment is based upon how I see things. So based on how I view things, my perspective, my disposition, the way I think, and the way I feel is correct. How I look at something and how I feel about it, that is what's fair. That's what's proper. That's what's appropriate. How I see things and do things, that's what's righteous to me. And go ahead and finish that. You was in 1 Timothy 6.
1 Timothy 6 and verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
Go ahead.
And a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
And it says they fall into a trap. See, when you thought it was an alternative to serving the Most High, based upon your own perception, you fell into a trap that only led you to sin. Now, you fell into some hurtful lusts. Because you know what? Sin has a consequence.
Yeah.
He said the wages of sin is what?
Death.
What is the payment for sin?
Death.
What does sin cost?
Death.
It costs you your life. And that's what people don't understand. There's a way, Proverbs, right? 18:25? There's a way that seemeth right to a man. But the ways thereof are what? Death. That's how, because what's right to me is really what's death to me. But how do I know what's right? That's why when you deal with people that are self-willed, self-propelled, self-righteous, man, you better back up from this person. Because they're not showing you what it means to be obedient to the Most High. They're going to steer you wrong. That's telling you the way you look at things are correct. You need to be checked. That's why the scriptures say what? Do nothing without advice. Let counsel go before every enterprise. And the multitude of counselors is what? Safety. You know where the safety comes from? Not leaning on your own understanding. Not going off what you think is fair and what's right and appropriate. 2 Corinthians. No, finish that. You had, let that go. You had James, right? No, we finished James. You had Luke 12. Who had Luke 12?
12.
Yeah, finish that.
Luke 12. From where we ended, or you want to?
Yeah, from where we ended at. From where we ended at.
Luke 12:19. From top. And I will say to my soul, that as much goods laid up for many years.
Go ahead.
Take thine ease.
Take thine what?
Thine ease.
Take thine ease, man. Go ahead.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Go ahead. Because that's all it is.
Indulge.
Eat, drinking, and be merry is all about my personal satisfaction.
Damn. All right. Cool.
Read on.
But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool.
What does the Most High call a person like this?
A fool.
You think there was an alternative in life to being happy and you could bypass me? You think you can go around me for understanding and for pleasure? You think you can detach from me, from having to live by faith? From being dependent upon me? And from having to be in order? You think you can go around this?
Couple real quick.
Yeah.
On the point you brought up. Proverbs 18:2 and Proverbs 19:3 on the topic of the fool. Guard, sisters leaving.
Proverbs 18:2. A fool have no delight in understanding.
I didn't want to hear scripture. I didn't want to hear counsel. I didn't want to hear the word. I didn't want to hear that. I'm not really enjoying this conversation. Shalom.
Right.
Read.
But that his heart,
That his what?
his heart may discover itself.
So a fool don't want to hear no real understanding. That's why they don't tell you what they're doing. They want to discover their own what? Heart. They want to quench their opinion. they want to quench their self will. Go to 19:3 on the idea of the fool.
Proverbs 19:3. The foolishness of man perverteth his way.
So now I'm fighting to discover my way. I'm fighting to discover and quench my opinion. And so what am I doing? I'm going to pervert the right way. I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to pervert the way. Read.
And his heart fretteth against the Most High.
But what, like Shasha once said, when I get death, who do I blame?
Most High.
I'm fretting against the Most High. My heart's really cussing the Most High out. I'm blaming the Father. And I'm blaming the people that the Father gave to me to guide me. I'm fretting against the Most High because I'm a fool. Because really I was chasing my own opinion. And I didn't get what I wanted, so now, my heart is sick. I'm deferred. I deferred. My hopes deferred. My vain hopes deferred. My heart's sick. I didn't get what I wanted. I was discovering my heart, and now I perverted my way to get what I want. And guess what? Now I'm gonna go ahead and fret against the Most. I'm gonna blame the Most High at the end of the day. Just showing the idea that fool you were bringing out.
God, that fool was somebody that didn't value the accumulation of keeping the Most High's wisdom as his focus. I didn't value the accumulation of the Most High's commandments. There was alternative desires that I had within my mind that needed to be satisfied. I have some boxes in my mind that didn't get checked off.
Yeah.
I have a bucket list.
Yeah.
Things that I'm going to accomplish and do before I die. And serving the Most High and being in order wasn't the number one. And it wasn't on all the boxes. I'm checking some other boxes. There's other desires. There's alternative desires that I possess. That's why it says this. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 17.
Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 17.
Read that.
A heart settled upon a thought.
It says, Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 17 says what?
A heart settled upon a thought.
It says, when you set your heart upon the right thing, which is serving the Most High, abiding by the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, being in order with the Most High, being godly. When you're content with just being godly, if that's your focus, if your eye be single, then it says the whole body be full of light. He said, but when your mind is focused on one thing, read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 17. A heart settled upon a thought of understanding.
Of understanding, which comes from the Most High. Not like the fool that doesn't want the Most High's understanding. Go ahead.
Is as a fair plastering on the wall of a gallery.
That's a work of art. That's a priceless piece of art. That's more valuable than a Basquiat.
Masterpiece.
That's a masterpiece. That's a fresco. That's a work of art. You know what the Most High considers a work of art? A man that doesn't disregard his understanding. A man whose eye is single. A man whose eye is focused on serving him. He said that man is a work of art. That's worthy to be put up on a wall in a gallery. That kind of mind frame. That's the art that you want to behold. That's the art that you want to put in a glass case with sirens on it and alarms. This is what you want to put on display.
You want to guard, protect.
You want to guard. It's valuable.
Yep.
That's what's valuable. Is that type of person. That's what the Most High looks at as a piece of art. Is a man whose eye is focused on him. That's why Christ said what? Go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 15. He said what? Yep.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 15.
Read verse 14.
Verse 14. Ye are the light of the world.
What did Christ say?
Ye are the lights of the world.
Go ahead.
A city that is set on a hill.
You're supposed to be put on display. Like a fair plastering on a wall in a gallery. You're supposed to be on display. You're supposed to be on display not for you doing what you want to do, but you doing what the Most High wants you to do. That's what's supposed to be put on display. How obedient you are to the Most High's commandments. How in order you are. That's what's supposed to be put on display. Read on.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel.
Why did the Most High give you this wisdom? Just so you can pursue your own imagination? Because that's what happens when you get the Most High's knowledge and you start pursuing you hide and discredit the Most High. You don't put His understanding on display. Because there's something else that you want. There's something else that's more important. Read on.
But on a candlestick, and giveth lights unto all that are in the house.
The Most High gives you these laws and these commandments so you can benefit other people. Not so you can pursue your own life. Hold that and finish that in Luke chapter 12. Yohanan, you had that, right?
Come. Luke chapter 12,
verse 20.
and verse 20. But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
I'm going to take your soul tonight. Read on.
Then who shall those things be?
Then all of those things that you work so hard to accumulate, who's it going to belong to now?
Yeah.
You can't take it with you. You know what you're going to find out? That you did all this Minecraft, building up your own world, satisfying your own imagination, and it was in vain. It was for nothing. You struggle to establish yourself to gain this type of notoriety or lifestyle and comfort and peace of mind, all for nothing. Read on.
Which thou hast provided.
Go ahead. That you work so hard to gain and possess. Read on.
So is he that laid up treasure for himself.
And he laid up treasure for who?
Himself.
For who did you work for?
Himself.
Whose pleasure was you trying to satisfy?
Himself.
Whose ideas was you following?
Himself.
What little man was you listening to in your eye?
Himself.
You're listening to you. Read on.
And is not rich toward the Most High.
Being rich towards the Most High is to gain His understanding, gain His knowledge, for the purpose of giving it to other people. Let that go and finish that in Matthew.
Verse 16 or 15?
Yeah, finish that in 15. Read that last part again.
Alright. Matthew chapter 5.
The B portion.
5 verse 15. B portion. But on a candlestick.
You're supposed to put this knowledge, this instruction on a candlestick. Go ahead.
And it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
And it gives what?
Lights unto all that are in the house.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
It says, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works. For the fact that you follow instruction, you put that on display. Other people get motivated by it. They follow it, and then they give glory back to who? The Most High. Because people realize that there's still hope. You know who gives them hope? Your actions give them hope. You know what the lady told us the other day? We had the job at the lady's house yesterday?
Yeah, it is.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, kind of.
She said, I've never been around a group of young men. It feels so good to be around a bunch of young men that don't curse, that don't swear, and that don't use profanity out of their mouth at every turn. She was impressed off the fact that how we conducted ourselves within her home. She said, it feels so good. You know what she didn't have to do? She didn't have to clutch her purse. She didn't have to hide her valuables. She didn't have to feel like she was unsafe. She was comfortable. She even started taking pictures of us when we weren't looking. She thought we weren't looking, but she had her phone up snapping pictures right while we was working. Cause you know what she's not used to seeing? Man, there's still hope out there. There's still some good people. There's still some unselfish individuals that whose pleasure isn't only in the satisfaction of their own mind.
Right.
That brought her joy. And that's what it should do. That's what every action of yours should do, is bring glory back to the Most High through your obedience and through your submission of His will and through the execution of His laws and commandments, not the execution of your own judgments. Finish that.
That they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And who gets the glory?
Your Father which is in heaven.
He gets the glory. Go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 verse 17.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 17. And thy counsel, who hath known? You read it?
Yeah, let me get it. It's right. Go ahead.
And thy counsel, who hath known?
It said, who known the counsel of the Most High? Go ahead.
Except thou give wisdom, and send thy Holy Spirit from above.
It says, and thy counsel, who have known it? Who knows the ways of the Most High? It says, except thou give wisdom, and send thy Holy Spirit from above. Go ahead.
For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom.
And they were what?
Saved through wisdom.
Are you going to be saved through your opinion, through your wisdom? No. Your salvation is going to come through what? Wisdom. And where does the wisdom come from? From the Most High. And you finding value in it. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 verse 1. Just to prove that.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 1. It says, again, one preparing himself to sail.
It says, again, one preparing himself to sail. That means this is me. This represents me setting out to perform my own journey. I want to do what I want to do. I have a direction that I want to go. I have an imagination. I have an opinion, and I have a destination. It says, one preparing himself to sail. A lot of us prepare ourselves to sail, to live out our dreams, to satisfy our pleasure. A lot of us are in pursuits of what we think is happiness. That's us setting sail. Read on.
And about to pass through the raging waves, call it upon a piece of wood, more rotten than the vessel that carrieth him.
It says, you know what that piece of wood is that you call upon? That's your opinion.
Right.
It's what you tell yourself while you start pursuing your own imaginations. You can do it. You don't need nobody.
Okay.
If you can do this if you got to do this by yourself, then so be it. You know what? You're going to make it. You're going to do it. You know, all this stuff that people tell themselves when they think that they can bypass following the Most High. I don't need nobody. I'm cool by myself. I'm okay by myself. Because we got people like that. We got people that think that. Israel thinks that. Me, it's just me, myself, and I. You know, I don't need nobody else. I can function by myself. I'm better that way. You are setting sail, and that piece of wood, the idea that you got in your mind, is more rotten than whatever direction that you're going in, and whatever vessel that you're using to execute your satisfaction.
The idea is bringing death.
Your own tree of knowledge.
Right.
Right.
Read on.
God. Verse 2. For verily desire of gain divides.
Hold on. Slow down.
Slow it down.
It shows you, why do men create their own vision? Why do men and women have their own imagination? What is the source and the root of what I create? Where does the imagination come from? It's based upon what?
Desire of gain.
It says what?
Desire of gain.
Why do people create imaginations of these fake lifestyles?
Yeah.
Desire of gain.
These alternative ways of living?
Desire of gain.
The idea that I can go around and bypass following the Most High and still receive happiness.
Desire of gain.
Man, come on, bro. This is what strengthens people's ideas. This is what feeds the idea that you can do you. It's what you want. It's what you want to have and want to accomplish is your motivation. Your motivation is wrong. And that's the motivation behind an imagination. That's the crookedness behind an imagination. It's you're going this direction and choosing to go this direction in your life because it's something that you want. That's what's causing you to get out of order. It's something that you want. That'd be the reason why people do what they do. Now everybody has different wants.
Right.
But what's the motivation behind it? It's what they feel like they're going to get in the end.
Reward.
It's the reward that I feel like I'm going to get in the end. That reward don't happen. That reward, you're never going to get it. That's why it says, thou fool, this night I require thy soul. Finish that in James. In Luke. Who had Luke chapter 12, verse 20?
Luke chapter 12, verse 20. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be?
And I'm going to scatter these things to anybody else. Everybody else. Read on.
Which thou hast provided.
Go ahead. That you work so hard to accomplish. Read on.
So is he that layeth
It says, so is he. The same way is going to be for him that layeth up what?
treasure for himself.
Now, we read in Proverbs, it says, you're supposed to lay up
Treasure.
the commandments, the law, as the apple of your eye. But I lay up treasure for myself. See, everybody has selfish pursuits where they win in the end of it.
I won.
At the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. That's not going to be the case. The Most High is not going to allow you to have it's just like it's a fantasy that you think you're going to see some gold at the end of a rainbow. It's not going to be there, because you were chasing a dream. You're a dream chaser. You need to be with Meek Mills.
Come.
But he said, you were supposed to be doing what? Read on.
And is not rich toward the Most High.
You were supposed to be gaining riches towards who?
The Most High.
Which is his wisdom, his understanding. You're supposed to be content with that. But that's not what you wanted. So you wanted something other than that. And that's why it says, listen, now let that go. Finish that up now in Wisdom of Solomon. Verse 2.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 2.
Read that.
For verily, desire of gain devised that.
So why do men create these visions and dreams?
The desire of gain.
Read on.
And the workman built it by his skill.
So now I go to work. I got a fantasy. I got an invention. I got a dream. It wasn't really satisfying. Being a brother is not what the focus was.
It's not my dream.
That wasn't my dream. Okay, I'm being a brother.
What?
I have those.
I have brothers, man. Being a sister, that's about as. You telling me that's supposed to be my focus? You tripping? It sounds so simple. Being a brother, that's what you asking?
Just be a damn brother.
You know what? What's in it for me though? I can see how me being a brother is going to help you, because I'm self-righteous. I can see how being a sister is going to be beneficial to you. I don't see how me being a sister to you is going to benefit me, because I don't see the value in you. But I can see the value in me. You're going to benefit from me more than I'm going to benefit from you. That's a crazy thought process. That's what's valuable to the Most High? Love thy neighbor as thyself? He said, in these two things, fulfill the whole law. So he's showing you, this is not enough for people. People want more than what it means to be a good brother or a good sister, or good to your people. It's not good enough for us, because I don't get the benefits of it.
And that's why people are these crabs in the buckets and tearing the people down.
Right.
That's part of the reason.
That's part of the reason why. Because I don't see the good in it. All I see is me losing. I don't see me getting anything. I'll be on the same playing level field as you. I don't want to be in the same position as you, because I esteem myself better than you. You had a question? Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, in verse 1, you said the piece of wood was your opinion.
Yep.
So are the waves the circumstances you think you can control, but you really can't?
Absolutely.
So it's a precept from that in 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 8.
Read it.
Yeah, 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 8. And thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea.
Okay.
Yep.
So proud was he beyond the condition of man, and weighed the high mountains in a balance, was now cast on the ground, and carried in horse litter.
So this was Antiochus, right?
Right.
That was Antiochus. Antiochus thought he was on his high horse.
Right.
He said he thought he could control the waves of the sea, and that's what people think. I can rule and control the things that happen to me. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'll make it. I can live out my dreams the way I want, and I'll be okay. No, you're not. But read on. Wisdom of Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, in verse 3. But thy providence, O Father, governeth it. For thou hast made a way in the sea, and a safe path in the waves, shewing that thou canst save from all danger.
He says, showing that you could save from all danger. But we just read, who does the Most High save? He saved those that have His wisdom.
Yeah.
That's who the Most High saves. He saves those that have His wisdom. Read on.
Yea, though a man went to sea without ark, nevertheless, thou wouldest not that the works of thy wisdom should be idle.
But you know what the Most High is going to show? He's going to show how trusting in Him is more to your advantage than trusting into you. Read on.
And therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood.
It says men commit their lives to a small piece of wood. You commit your life to a small imagination, to a daydream, to a vision, to an imagination, to an opinion. He said you will commit your life to that. But you're going to find out that the Most High saves those that use His wisdom. Read on.
And passing the rough sea in a weak vessel are saved.
And he says that the Most High will save those that care about His wisdom than those that set sea and set sail to execute their own pleasure. What he's talking about in verse 5 is in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 verse 4. Somebody else read that. The explanation of verse 5 is in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 verse 4. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 4. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood.
And he says, whose caused the earth being drowned with the flood. Read on.
Wisdom again preserved it.
What did wisdom do?
Preserved it.
Wisdom
In the midst of tribulation, in the midst of a damn storm. You know what you're going to find out? We in a storm now. You're in a storm to be vaccinated and to be immunized with some strange ingredients that nobody knows what's in it. Made quickly with a laboratory and rushed to the approval board, rushed to be approved by the FDA, and you don't even know what the hell is in it. You don't know what kind of stem cells. You don't know what kind of damn aborted fetal tissue. You don't know what type of mercury. You don't know what type of... Think about what a vaccine is supposed to do. A vaccine is supposed to have the traits of the sickness within it, in the hopes that your body will create an immunity to it. So it still comes down to what? Your body.
Exactly.
It still comes down to your body trying to create an antivirus within the cells, and the white blood cells doing their job and fighting off these viruses and eating these viruses. It still comes down to your body. It ain't the answer. You in the flood now. But he said, using wisdom, save those. See, read that again in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 verse 4.
Wisdom of Solomon 10 verse 4. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved it, and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value.
So it's showing you that to have righteousness with the Most High, and the Most High will allow you to make it through a situation, in a circumstance where it almost seems like you weren't going to make it. He said He let the righteous escape from a flood from a piece of wood of small value. The Most High found a way out. Because you know what He says in Psalms? Give me that one Psalm where he says 34. Psalms 34 and start at verse 12.
Psalms 34 and verse 12.
Read that.
It says, they rewarded me. Oh, so that's 35.
34.
It says, depart from evil and do good.
Psalms
What
34.
man is he? What man is he?
Yeah.
What man is he that desires life?
It said, what man, if you want to live, it's telling you, if you want to live, he's telling you the mind of a man that wants to live. Right? Read that.
And loveth many days,
And if you want a long life, read on.
that he may see good. Keep thy tongue from evil,
Go ahead.
and thy lips from speaking guile.
Go ahead.
Depart from evil,
Go ahead.
and do good.
Read.
Seek peace and pursue it.
These are the focuses of a man that's trying to live. This is what I'm trying to do in my life if I want to live. These are the actions of somebody that wants to survive a flood. I will occupy myself with these things. Read on.
Verse 15. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous.
And if you care about doing these things, guess whose attention you get? You get the Most High's attention. Because this was your pursuit. Not your pursuit, but you pursued the ways of the Most High. That's why it says, what man is he that desired life? If you want to live, he says, loveth many days that he may see good. Keep your tongue from evil. You know what that means? Keep your damn mouth in check. Watch what you say. This is what your focus should be. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Don't let the pride of your mouth get the best of you. Watch what come out your mouth. What else? He says, keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. Guile is slander. You know what slander is? I'm diminishing the respect that belongs to a person, and I'm diminishing that respect. I'm talking down on this person. It still goes back to how I deal with my brother. It still comes back to how I treat my people. I'm diminishing the respect that's due to my husband, or that's due to my brother, or due to my sister. Keep thy mouth from slander, from guile. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. These are the actions of somebody that's trying to live in these last days. But you're trying to seek peace with who? Your people. This is if you want to live. Read on.
Verse 15. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous.
And whose attention do you gain when you're seeking this? And this is what's important to you? He said the eyes of the Lord are upon who?
The righteous.
Read on.
And his ears are open unto their cry.
Go ahead.
The face of the Lord is against them that do evil,
Go ahead.
to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth.
Go ahead.
The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth.
It says the righteous cry. And what?
And the Lord heareth,
Go ahead.
and delivereth them out of all their trouble.
He says, and deliver them out of all their troubles. You doing you is not going to guarantee salvation in these last days. Living out your dreams and your fantasies, it's not going to. If you haven't did it in the 90s,
It's too late.
it's too late, man.
Seriously.
You ain't did it in the 80s. If you haven't satisfied your flesh by now,
It's too late.
It's too late to be
it's
a
too,
dope man.
it's too late. Yeah, you tell me you're a trap god now? It's too late.
That's way too late.
Trying to live your life.
Right.
Long time for you to live your life.
Long time, right? It's the wrong time to go for self. You know, the only thing that's going to get you out of these out of these pressing situations that's about to come upon us is the fact that you pursued righteousness. That's the only opportunity we have. Read on.
John. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart.
He says the Most High is close to them that are what?
Of a broken heart.
Read on.
And saveth such as be of a contrite spirit.
Read on.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous.
That's why when you do right and you pursue righteousness and that's your goal, that's the apple of your eye. He said the light of the body is the eye. It's so if I'm careful about what I let in my eyes, if I'm careful about what I'm lusting after, if I'm careful about what I desire, if I'm careful about what I want, he says if I'm careful about this, the Most High, no matter what I go through, it says many are the afflictions of the righteous. Go ahead.
but the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
And that's why it's about staying focused and giving to what the Most High wants from me as a man. I got to satisfy the Most High's desire versus satisfying my own desire.
Yep.
Now I'll go back and finish that in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14. We're about to wrap it up.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 3.
Read that.
It says, but thy providence, O Father, governeth it, for thou hast made a way. Let's lock it. Really read that.
We're in verse 5.
Okay. Verse 5. Nevertheless, thou wouldest not that the works of thy wisdom should be idle. And therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood.
And that piece of wood is that fantasy, that self-propelling, self-willed. I do what I want. You know what? That spirit, the Most High, that spirit has been on earth before. That self-willed, I do what I want. You know what? He's going to explain that. Read on.
Okay. And passing the rough sea in a weak vessel are saved.
Go ahead. Read
Verse
on.
6. For in the old time also.
It says, for in the old time also. Now he's going to take you back to the past. He says, this is the reason why back in the past, a lot of people had to be put to death. And that one righteous man and his righteous family was saved on a small piece of cheap wood. He's taking you back in the past. Read on.
When the proud giant.
He says, in the past, there was what on earth?
Proud giant.
He says, not only were they giants, but they were what?
Proud.
They were proud. What was on the earth before? Pride. Pride has been on the earth. And what did the Most High do with pride on the earth? Go to Genesis chapter 6 and read verse 5.
Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great.
And what was the wickedness of man? It was what?
Great.
No, we just read it. It was what?
Pride.
It was pride.
Come.
That was what was on the earth prior to the Most High bringing judgment on the earth. It's a bunch of pride. And if you got a lot of pride, you better check yourself. If you're self-propelled and self-willed, self-motivated, self-righteous, and you only want to go off the beat of your own drum, you better check yourself. You don't think you have to abide by any laws or rules or commandments, you better check yourself. You think you don't have to follow anybody, you better check yourself. You think you're okay by yourself, you better check yourself. You think you're the only one righteous? Most High said there's none righteous. No, not one. Romans chapter 3.
12.
That ain't nothing new.
Righteousness is filthy rags. Isaiah 6:4-6.
That's nothing new. So he's showing you what's on the earth of why the Most High had to kill everybody the first time. He said it was proud giants. So what? Read that in Genesis 6 and where you at?
6 and 5, Genesis. And the Most High saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination.
And what was the pride of man?
Every imagination.
Where was man's pride in?
Imagination.
It was in your imagination. What you want to do. I want to do what I want to do. That's the spirit that caused the flood from the beginning. From the jump. When do you get to decide what you want to do? But only when you're drawn and enticed out of your own lust. That's when you decide to do that. When you start chasing after your lust. When the commandments is not enough for you to follow. When being a brother is too much. That's not good enough for you. Having food and clothes is not good enough for you. Just being content with the fact that you're doing right, it's not good enough for you. You want more than that. That's what was on the earth. People are creating imaginations, creating visions. I'm pursuing this direction. I'm setting sail in that direction. I want to gear my life towards this. You can't tell me what to do. Yes, sir.
I had a precept, Ecclesiastes 10 and 12.
Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 12 through 13. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker.
And that's what happened in Genesis. Everybody's heart was turned away from the Most High. because they want to follow after their own imagination. Finish reading that? No, let that go. Finish reading that.
That every imagination.
That what?
Every imagination of the thoughts.
Of what?
Of the thoughts.
Where was the sin at in man in Genesis?
Of the thoughts.
So was it? See, before you can execute wickedness, you think about what?
Wickedness.
You think about it first. It has an origin. Your evil designs, they have an origin. The origin of your design comes from your imagination. It comes from your thoughts. So when you have a distorted perspective, then your actions become distorted. When you have distorted obedience and distorted allegiance, your actions are distorted. You commit adultery because you have a distorted set of allegiance. You have distorted morals. So you commit adultery because the origin of the adultery started where? The scripture said when you look at a woman unto lust, you what? You committed adultery already. Where did it begin? Adultery began where?
In the mind.
In the mind.
The thought of foolishness.
Every sin starts in the mind. Every out of order conduct that you possess on earth began in your thought process. It had an origin, it had a root. That's not new. You're not doing anything new. You're doing actually what's old. Read on.
That every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
And that's everybody has their own ideas of what they want to do in their life, and they're not going to let nobody stop them, and I'm going to do what I want to do. You're doing the same thing in Genesis chapter 6 that the Most High is explaining in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14. He said, the proud giants, verse 6.
Wisdom of Solomon, 14 and verse 6. For in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world, governed by thy hand, escaped in a weak vessel.
He said, but the ones that had faith, they escaped in a what?
A weak vessel.
Read on.
And left to all ages a seed of generation.
Read on.
For blessed is the wood.
It says, for blessed is the what?
The wood.
What was the wood that Noah had?
Grace.
Obedience.
Go to Hebrews chapter 11 verse 7. What was the wood that helped Noah float away from disaster and destruction? With Hebrews chapter 11 verse 7. Somebody read that.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 7. It says, by faith.
By what?
By faith.
What was Noah's wood that he floated on?
Faith.
What was Noah's escape? Faith. What was the vessel that Noah floated on?
Faith.
Him and his family.
Faith.
That you might as well call that faith. That vessel, that ark was an ark of faith. Because that's what Noah held on to in order to get out of his circumstance when the world was being destroyed. You don't think the world is on its way to destruction now? What's going to save you now? Your direction? Or you holding on to the Most High's direction? What's going to pull you out of destruction?
Faith.
Faith. It says by faith, go ahead.
Noah, being warned of the Most High.
He said he was what?
Being warned.
He was told, hey, destruction is coming. I'm bringing destruction to this place. You know what Noah did? He was taking heed to that warning. He was listening. He didn't say, oh man, I got time. I got time. Everything gonna be alright. I'll get right soon. Just let me go ahead and fulfill I'm almost to the point of making it, man. I'm about to make it. I'm on the verge of success. Damn, I'm this close to being where I want to be in life. Let me just taste it. Let me just taste it because I'm right here. I'm on the verge of stardom. I'm finally about to get where I want to be in my life. Read.
Being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet.
Go ahead.
Moved with fear.
Move with what?
with fear.
He had respect for the Most High's commandments and his warnings. Read on.
Prepare an ark.
And what was that ark made out of? Shittim wood, right? Cheap wood. But that ark was his faith. He prepared himself by engaging in pursuing what brings about more faith. Faith cometh by hearing. That hearing the word of the Lord. I got to hear more of the words of the Most High in order to obtain more faith. So that's what Noah pursued himself after. More of the Most High's instruction. That's what saved him. Read on.
Prepare an ark to the saving of his house.
So your ability to submit yourself to the direction and the commandments of the Most High and his warnings, his prophecies of coming destruction, your ability to identify this and to take heed of this, not following your own design, might be able to save you. You might be spared because you took heed. Let that go and go back to Wisdom of Solomon 14, verse 8. No, verse 7. Finish that at 7.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 7. For blessed is the wood whereby righteousness cometh.
And where was what was the wood that righteousness came? It was by Noah's faith. Read on. Somebody else give me Jeremiah real quick. Read on. We're going to speed it up a little bit.
Verse 8. But that which is made with hands.
Jeremiah 17:5. Somebody read that. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Read that.
Jeremiah 17 in verse 5.
Read.
Thus saith the Most High, cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
It says, but when you float your own boat and you try to design your own vessel and take sail, you think you're going to control the direction of your life? Read that again.
Thus saith the Most High, cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
It says, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Read on.
And maketh flesh.
Flesh represents his strength, his muscle, his dependency, his abilities. Read on.
And maketh flesh his arm.
I trust in my ability. I trust in my smarts. I trust in my intellect. I trust in my knowledge. I trust in my education. I trust in who I am. I trust in my looks. I trust in my thought process because I think better than you. I think on a better level. I got more knowledge and instruction. I'm smarter than you. He said, cursed is the man that trusteth in what? In man, and maketh flesh his arm. Now go back to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 8 and read that.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse 8. It says, but that which is made with hands.
Somebody else get Ecclesiastes 16 in the Apocrypha. Read on.
But that which is made with hands.
It said, but when you make your own lifestyle, you create your own life, and you try to design it and go where you want to go, he said what?
Is cursed.
Is what?
Is cursed.
Read on.
As well it, as he that made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God.
It was called a power. You trusted in your abilities. You trusted in your imagination. He said, so not only is the imagination going to be cursed, he said, but the person that created the imagination going to be cursed. Because you gave your imagination power. Wow. You gave your imagination strength. You gave your ideas and your opinion power as if it was a vessel itself. Or it had the ability to pull you out of your circumstance.
I invest and I put my faith.
Right. I put my faith in me.
Right.
I invested in myself.
That's crazy.
I brought myself out of this situation. I give myself the credit. The glory goes to me. Ecclesiastes 16. Who had Ecclesiastes 16?
What verse?
13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verse 13. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils.
It says what?
The sinner shall not escape with his spoils.
Do you think the Most High is going to let you walk away in the sunshine, in the sunset like you did it?
Happy ending.
It was going to be a happy ending? And you're going to live out your life. You're going to be Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. Think the Most High is going to let, yeah, Edomites can do that. But the children of Israel, do you think the Most High is going to let the children of Israel do that?
Oh, no.
You think he's going to let you walk away and do it your way?
No.
And then bask in the glory that, look at what I created? Look at what I built? He said the sinner shall not what?
The sinner shall not escape with his spoils.
It says the Most High is not going to let you get away with this ideal, with this imagination. He's not going to let you get away with it. It's not going to manifest and end the way you think it's going to end. But for those that have been faithful, that have been content with just serving the Most High, read on.
And the patience of the godly
And the what?
And the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated.
See, if I am cautious, if I am taking heed to the commandments of the Most High, and I'm content with that, even if I experience trouble with serving the Most High, I'm still what?
Content.
I'm still content. I'm still not frustrated. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of people are frustrated because they're not content on serving the Most High.
Wow, true.
And that's why it says the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. See, if I set my mind on serving the Most High, then I can endure the troubles because I know how the end is going to be. Mm-hmm. The Most High is going to save me. We just read many of the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord saveth them from them all. So people that walk around frustrated in this truth, people that walk around angry with this knowledge, people that are bitter in the truth, the problem is what?
You're not patient.
Nope.
You're not content.
They're not pursuing godliness. They're not content with godliness. Every angry man or woman in the truth is not really, they're living by their own design. Mm-hmm. That's where the frustration comes from. Because I'm not getting what I want. Mm-hmm. See, that's why you got unhappy campers in the truth. That's why you got unhappy campers with this knowledge. See, if I'm pursuing the right information and right knowledge, I know that the Most High is going to support me in the end. I don't have to be angry about the conditions that I'm going through because I'm okay with the conditions. Right. I'm satisfied with the conditions. I'm satisfied with the people that the Most High got me around. But if I'm complaining about my brothers and my sisters, if I'm complaining about my husband, if I'm complaining about my wife, it's because I want something else. And I'm not getting what I really want. See, I haven't learned to value my condition because this is not what I really want. That's not my focus. That's why there's a disturbance of the spirit. That's why I'm frustrated. You should not be frustrated serving the Most High. Serving the Most High is an opportunity to escape. Why the hell would you be mad at your escape? Because you don't look at it that way. You don't look at your husband that way. You don't look at your wife that way. You don't look at your brother that way. You don't look at your sister that way. Because you got something else that's more important in your imagination that's ruling. And you're not getting that thing that you create. And that's why you're frustrated with the condition the Most High got you in. So I said the patience of the godly shall not be what?
The patience of the godly shall not be frustrated.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, pause right here.
Okay.
Jude, chapter 1, verse 16 through 19. Or really 20.
Jude chapter 1 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
It says, these are murmurs.
So, murmurs. Meaning, I'm sitting here talking to myself. I'm talking to me. Under my breath. I'm having conversations. I'm having arguments. I have things to say in my mind. I just don't reveal. Read.
Complainers.
I'm complaining, like such one brought out. I'm sitting here. I have a negative perspective. I'm complaining. I'm dissatisfied.
I'm not happy in this truth.
Con.
I'm not happy at home. I'm not happy with the people the Most High got me with.
Not happy to work.
Not happy doing the work.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. It's your escape, man. You need to reevaluate what the Most High's got you going through.
This lifestyle is not my intention.
Right. I didn't choose this. I didn't sign up for this. This wasn't my idea of what it means to serve the Most High.
But now we're finding why.
I'm complaining. Go ahead.
Read on.
Walking after their own lusts.
Walk after their own what?
Lusts.
This is why I'm complaining. I'm not getting my design satisfied.
Yep.
Read.
And their mouth speaketh great swelling words.
I got a lot of arguments. I be arguing. I be bucking up. I be rebelling. Got things to say.
Right.
At the right time. Well, if you prick them a little bit, they're gonna say. If you prick them and play with them a little bit, that spirit will come out.
Yep.
Read.
Having men's persons in admiration because of advantage.
Because I'm really looking for another person's advantage. I'm really looking for another person's situation. I'm a situational Israelite. I'm looking for a situation that I can't have. I'm only going to serve if you give me the situation I want. Read. It's a situation based. I want the situation, and I'll give you I'll give you the servant that you want if you give me the situation I want. Read.
Conditional.
Come.
But beloved.
But beloved, those that are patient, those that actually see this the right way, seeing this through the eyes of Christ, seeing it through the lens of the Scriptures. Read.
Remember ye the words which were spoken before of the apostles of our Lord Yahushua.
Read.
Verse
He
18.
said, remember these words, bro. Read.
How that they told you there should be mockers in the last
There
time.
should be mockers in the last time.
Why are they mocking them? Because they don't see the value in this lifestyle. Why am I complaining? Because I don't see the value in the people the Most High got me around. Job 17, verse 9. Job 17:9. Read that.
Job 17:9.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the righteous also shall hold on his way.
So no matter what I'm going through, if I care about being righteous, I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to be patient. No matter what tribulation, how difficult it gets, instead of mocking, laughing at, see, this is what you get for serving the Most High.
Oh, this is stupid.
Remember that dude that came to the cart years ago, and he put his check on the table?
God, Mr. Checkman, huh?
Yeah, Mr. Checkman. He said, this is what you get when you, what did he say? I forgot the word.
This is what you get when you leave.
Yeah, when you leave, yeah. He said,
slammed the check
this
on
was
the
a
ground.
this was a brother that left the truth to pursue riches, got paid and brought it back and put a check in front of another brother's face.
He slammed it hard.
Slammed it on the cart. This what you get when you do this. It said, but the righteous shall do what?
Hold on his way.
He shall hold on to his way. Doesn't matter what you have to endure with your brothers and sisters. You're okay with it. Because you understand this is your way out of the coming tribulation. Mm-hmm. Read on.
And he that hath clean hands.
And he that hath what?
Clean hands.
Go ahead.
Shall be stronger and stronger.
And so I care about just keeping my hands clean. Mm-hmm. Doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High. That's what's strength to me. That's where my strength is at. That's what I care about. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. Let's wrap it up. Hold on, we come back.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'm not sure.
No,
It doesn't fit.
No, it does.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12.
We're going to come back to it.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
It says, for the creating of idols was the beginning of what?
Spiritual fornication.
People's imagination and the things that people come up with was the beginning of spiritual what?
Spiritual fornication.
It was the beginning of spiritual detachment from the Most High. Definition of devise: to invent, to form in the mind by new combination of ideas,
Wow.
new applications
Something new.
of principles, or new arrangements of parts, new plans or new schemes.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He said the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. It's the things I'm trying to come up with something new. I'm trying to create a new way. Everybody got something new.
Yeah.
They want to do something new. I'm gonna do something you ain't never did before. I'm gonna show you something you ain't never seen before.
I'm gonna prove.
You know,
prove it.
I'm gonna prove that
I'm
my
gonna
way
prove
works.
my way works.
I'm gonna show you that my way gonna work.
I'm still standing.
I'm gonna be in my lane. Right. You're gonna see. You're gonna follow me. You know this. You know everybody trying to do something new.
Right.
You're not doing anything new.
Right.
Pride is not new. Wicked inventions are not new. High opinions of yourself is not new. All these things are not new. You're not doing nothing new. But for some reason, people want to do something new.
A double vision.
It said the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
Wow.
To invent, to form in the mind by new combination of ideas,
God.
new application. See, I got a new breakdown, brother. I got a deeper understanding than you with the scriptures.
Word.
See, I left the camp because the Most High showed me something.
Golly.
He showed me something new.
Yeah.
See, y'all got them old breakdowns. I got the new breakdowns.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a real thing.
And this is why people put away the discipline of following, because I don't have to. That's the Old Testament. You got to follow the Old Testament. See, Christ ain't gonna walk with you in your heart. All you gotta do is think about it. He gonna take care of you. You don't gotta read them all. You don't gotta study like that. I got a new breakdown. Everybody got something new. He said that's the beginning of spiritual fornication. It's something that new idea that popped in your head that told you that you don't have to do something. That's the beginning of you separating from the Most High. Read on.
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
And this is where people are what? Corrupted.
Corrupt.
What corrupts people is the new ideas they come up with, instead of sticking to what works. Jump down, read on.
Verse 13. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever.
Go ahead.
For by the vain glory of men.
For by the what?
For by the vain glory of men.
You know what he's saying? Negroes always want to be smart. Niggas want to look smart.
Yeah.
I'm smart too.
Smart.
I got ideas too. You're not the only one that comes up with the ideas. I got better ideas than you.
Kill some elephants.
He said, it says the vain glory of men. It's the fact that I want my wisdom to be respected.
Right.
I want to show you how much intellect I possess. I'm intellectually powerful. Wasn't that Dathan and Korah's issue?
Yeah. The root of it.
I'm smarter. I'm older.
Better speaker.
I'm of the tribe of Levi.
God.
I got more money, so therefore I can be a better leader for the people. I'm a better speaker. I'm a better orator. It's this idea, he said, is the corruption of life. It's vain glory. Everybody wants to prove something. Because you want to prove something, this is what gets men in trouble. Because you got to prove how smart you are. And you find out you're just an old dummy. Doing things that was done in the past. As if there's a new way. That's why he says the righteous shall hold on to his way. If you're really smart, you would hold on to what has already been written. You hold on to what you've already been shown. Instead of trying to create your own lane. That's the disease of our people. I'm always trying to create my own lane. I'm always trying to look smart. Proverbs 18 and 20. 2 more verses. We're almost done.
Proverbs 18 and 20.
Read that. Looking smart gets you in trouble, man. Trying to look smart, trying to be smart, trying to come up with new ideas, they only get you in trouble.
Proverbs 18 and 20 reads, hear counsel and receive instruction.
It says do what?
Hear counsel
No, it
and
says
receive instruction.
It says come up with your own vision. It says hear counsel and receive what?
Instruction.
Read on.
That thou mayest be wise in thy later end.
It says, and then if you hear counsel and receive instruction, he says, then you should be wise in what?
Latter end.
In the latter end. What's going to save you in the end?
Wisdom.
Hearing counsel and receiving instruction.
Yeah.
Not you trying to come up with something new. not you creating a new lane, a new way to serve the Most High, doing what you want to do. I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that because we still got more, but it's already 10:30. I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that. Any questions?
It was 18 and 20.
That was
19.
18. Proverbs 18 and 20.
It's 19.
19 and 20.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, my bad. It is 19 and 20, bro. My bad.
Read that.
So you said 19 and 20?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 20 reads, "Hear counsel
Same point.
and receive instruction,
Go ahead.
that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end."
That's what's gonna save you in the end. Read on.
Verse 21 reads, "There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Most High Yahweh thou shalt stand."
What's the thing that should stand in your mind?
Counsel of the Most High.
The counsel of the Most High. It says, although a man's heart devises many devices,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that you should let rule in your mind is the counsel of the Most High. Amongst all your great ideas that you possess, none of them should overthrow the Most High's decision. And that's what we be battling. When we in this truth, in this program, what we battle as brothers, as elders to men, you know what we battle all day? Ideas and devices that men come up with and women come up with. And that's what we be shooting down on a regular basis. That's why we find it's often said in the camp, who told you to do that? Where'd you get that idea from?
Who you follow?
Who are you following? Who are you patterning yourself after? Where the hell you get that from? Who told you that was okay? You know, when you get in the camp, you're going to find that those words spoken in a lot of times and quite often. Because you're going to, in a camp setting, all you're going to do all day is shoot down imaginations and shoot down devices. You know, I don't even feel like going to work today.
It's a new one. That's a new thing.
How you feel like going to work today?
Ain't that laborious, but
Yeah. Hold on, let me scratch my head on
open this Bible real quick.
I ain't going to class. Hold on, wait.
What you talking about, man?
My about
I'm staying home.
my salvation.
I'm just gonna be right here.
Come.
You ain't gonna tell. I'm just stay right here at home. Scratch my head. What? All you do all day in the camp is fight devices. That's all we do. We ain't special. That's all we do is troubleshoot ideas, troubleshoot thoughts. Okay, brother, where you get that thought from? Who told you that was okay? Why are you behaving like that? Why are you acting like that? What are you doing? Where are you going?
What are you doing?
What time you coming back? Oh, really? That's what you're gonna do.
Oh, really?
I'm not saying we got power, but you know what? All we can do is try to keep men's devices in check, because that's what men gonna do. Oh, and try to steer them back to following the count. What does the Most High want you to do? What will be right now for you as a man or a woman?
Scriptures that, huh?
Yeah.
What's the scripture in that?
What Bible verse is that? What are you reading from?
Jubilee.
Yeah, I know, right? So he said, read that one more time.
Verse 21.
20, 21.
21?
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 19 and 21 reads, "There are many devices in a man's heart.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the counsel of the Most High Yahweh, they shall stand."
And so the thing that stands, the things that you should trust, put your faith in, that you should depend on, and you should follow, is the counsel of the Most High, not your own mind. And that's why the class is called My Vision versus the Most High's Desire. The thing that you should depend upon is the Most High's advice and counsel, not yours. Curses the man that trusteth the man. Every time you start trusting your own thought process, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Every time you start making up your own decisions that are, you got some ideas and you want to be smart too, it's a problem. You got a question?
Say Proverbs 3, 5 through 6.
Yeah, read it. It's good.
Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Trust in the Most High with thy heart.
No,
And-
read it again.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart.
All thine heart. Not just your heart, all your heart.
Good.
Read on.
And lean not on thine own understanding.
Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him,
Go ahead.
and he shall direct thy paths.
All right, we done. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Amadim, upon walk down, rise and face the east.